A lot of people, they don't understand the problem when it comes to tithing and how it's keeping you in a state of poverty, a state of lack. Why tithing to pastors is keeping you poor. A lot of you attend church and you want to believe that your pastor is a man of God. You want to believe it. Some of you been in these churches because of your family. Maybe you somehow felt obligated to attend, or perhaps the church makes you feel a sense of comfort. At the same time, a lot of you are still stuck in this doctrine. Tithing. What is tithing? Why do people do it? Why do people feel obligated? The pressure to tithe, the financial strain it causes you, where as soon as you get your paycheck, you already got bills, you already got problems, you're already trying to figure out how to survive. We all go through it. And the church makes it more difficult. The church don't care about your struggles. The church just want your money. Out of all the things from the Old Testament that they can benefit from, they choose to tell you to give 10% of your money. And they dress this thing up in two ways. On one hand, they tell you that you're robbing God and you're cursed with a curse. So now, because things aren't looking good in your life already, it sounds like the pastor's telling the truth. But is he? On another note, he makes you believe that if you do begin to give tithes, that God is going to open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. So now when you factor in the two motivators, one suggests that you're cursed with a curse. Things aren't looking right in your life as of late. So what the pastor says sound like it's true. On another side, the other motivator suggests that if I begin to give this money, God is going to open the windows of heaven and give me a blessing. That is how they pitch the scam to you. If you're new to my channel and you don't know who I am, I'm Ringo TV. I've been on YouTube since 2006. My first message on YouTube was to expose the tithing scam. I am the original content creator when it comes to exposing the tithing lie. Nobody on YouTube is qualified to talk about this topic other than Ringo TV. I've been doing this since day one. Now, everybody copies me. Everybody try to imitate my style. They try to imitate my likeness. But they were not called by God to tackle these issues. I was in the prosperity gospel church known as Creflo Dollar Ministries, Changing Your World Ministries. And when I began following that church back in 1995, Creflo was not teaching prosperity. He was not. He was more or less teaching salvation, repentance. He would point out your sin. And it really inspired me to come to Jesus Christ back then because I was in a dark place in my life and I needed some sort of intervention because I was going down a path that it was going to really put me in a messed up situation. So I can recall watching him uh, very late at night, and it was interesting. Then a couple of years later, I noticed he started preaching on sowing a seed and believing God for a blessing. And at that time, I was not educated in the word of the Most High. So, being that that was the church that I guess I came to the Lord Jesus Christ through, I figure he must be telling the truth, right? So I got caught up in the prosperity gospel, giving all my money away to pastors, uh, trying to find blessings by buying blessings from God. And I wasted a lot of money. I went completely broke, completely poor, struggling, could hardly pay any of my bills, behind on everything, credit card debt up to the max. And I noticed that the pastors was rich, but I wasn't. I was just literally in the bottom. And I remember reaching out to the church for help, and the church didn't help me with anything. And I figured, well, maybe they're just busy. I kept making excuses to stay in the religion of Christianity because I felt that these men of God are from God. I wanted to believe that, just like you thought and believed that the pastor that you're connected to is a man of God. Well, later down the road, the prosperity gospel got even more worse. I noticed that every time it was time to tithe, I would feel this heaviness, this burden, because I had these bills to pay. And man, if I wasn't tithing during that time, I would have been able to pay all my bills. I would have been able to get out of debt. But the tithe was keeping me poor. The tithe and paying it was keeping me at the bottom. And I'm like, God, why am I paying this thing? You said you're going to open the windows, but no windows is open for me. You said that you're going to rebuke the devourer, but nothing been rebuked. It seemed like the more I tithe, the worse things get. And I didn't have no food to eat, behind on rent, eviction notices, uh, just struggling. And when you get around people, you don't want to tell them that you're going through. You know what I mean? You just want to act like everything is good. So when people ask me, "Hey, man, you all right?" "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." Because you're embarrassed. You know what I mean? You don't want to tell them that you're struggling. Especially in the Black community, you're taught to act like everything is okay at all times, because being vulnerable or putting yourself out there too much, it's kind of like not permitted in the community. Everybody got to act like they're doing good, even when they're not. So tithing money to these churches uh, made me go deeper in debt, because I would use the credit card to shop for food, and I would be using the credit card normally like I would if I'm using my money. And it's like the more I tithe, the more deeper in debt I got, to the point where we were behind probably about 15,000 in debt. And I ended up filing for bankruptcy. This was back in my early 20s. Um, Tithing did that. Tithing put me so far in debt because of the continual draining of resources under the guise of I'm doing what God wants. It began to make me despise church, God. I was upset with everybody because I'm like, I'm giving and giving, and God ain't doing nothing. And then as I'm going through this, I decided, let me do my own independent research. I did something that a lot of Christians don't do, and that is read the Bible. I read the Bible for myself. When I did that, I found and I learned that I was being lied to the whole time. The worst feeling you can get, guys, is when you come to the church because you're truly seeking God from the heart. I wasn't faking it. I truly wanted a relationship with God. I had a lot of anger issues. I'm walking around the street with Rambo knives. I'm literally on edge, going through all sorts of problems. Can't pay my bills. I'm at work smiling like I'm happy, but I'm not. Any little thing somebody say, it ticks me off. So I'm trying to find God so that I can get some peace. And then I learned that the pastor that I was believing in was lying the whole time. Worst feeling ever. But it was liberating for me because that is when God called me to go to social media to expose this lie. I've wasted a lot of money in church. So much so that I really regret all of that. And at the same time, I'm happy I've been through it because it gave me the opportunity to share the message that can liberate a multitude of people. This is why I'm qualified to talk about these topics, because I'm not just talking about it because it's popular to talk about. I'm talking about it because I lived it. I lived it, I experienced it, and I know all the details. Tithing money to pastors will keep you poor. Tithing money to pastors is the worst thing you can possibly do. It is a scam. It is how churches are able to obtain monies out of you in a way where they make you believe you're doing something godly. So, after reading the Bible, after learning the truth about what tithing mean and are we supposed to tithe in today's day, I learned what the tithe was really about. Tithing had nothing to do with money. Had nothing to do with money. Now, what a lot of Christian pastors and Hebrew Israelite congregations will do is they will twist every Bible scripture known to man in order to sell you the lie. You have one particular church leader of the GOCC church. His name is Elder Rakah. This man teaches that you're supposed to tithe money to the church. Let me give you a little understanding of Elder Rakah. Elder Rakah has a Patreon page. Membership on the Patreon page is about $5. He has over 6,500 members. That rounds up to about $33,000 a month. $33,000 a month is what he earned on Patreon alone. Half of you don't even earn $4,000 a month. Now, $33,000 is just through Patreon membership. What about the people who tithe to the church? When you factor in 10% of all his members, not only are they paying $33,000 a month, but then you factor in tithing on top of that. Then you factor in YouTube earnings on top of that. So when you round everything up, this particular pastor, preacher, brings in over $150,000 a month. And yet, you're poor and struggling. This is the same thing that the Christian pastor has been doing for years. The same scam of the pastor being rich and you poor is what's happening every day. The very same pastor tried to teach people not to send their children to college, that it's not necessary. And the whole time, his children are graduating from top universities with your money, paying for it. The very same individual lives in a very lavish community, very, very nice property that you paid for. And while he's living good, you're poor. That is what tithing does. Tithing keeps you poor. None of you that have been tithing money to churches are rich. None of you. You're poor. Now, the scoffers, they scoff because they're blind. I was once like you. Trust me, I was once like you. To all my wonderful scoffers and mockers that are in the live chat, I was just like you. I remember when I would defend Creflo Dollar. I'll be defending Creflo Dollar against all the people that hated that pastor back then. I would be in the comments like, y'all just jealous of my pastor because he's rich. Ha ha ha. Y'all broke. Y'all broke. And all the time I'm saying this, I look back and I'm like, I'm defending a man, but I was broke too. But it felt good because I was defending the pastor. Just like a lot of you, you blindly follow and you defend your pastor. But your pastor don't give a damn about you. He don't care. What he care about is the money. So tithing has been instituted by Christianity and Black Hebrew Israelites as a way to finance their lifestyles, not the gospel. The Apostle Paul wasn't making $33,000 a month. Jesus Christ was not making $33,000 a month. Jesus Christ was not making $100,000 a month. No, it was not. I mean, think about this, guys. Someone in the live chat says, why are you so obsessed with Elder Ricard? Let me ask you a question. Why are you so obsessed with me? You're viewing me. You're here. Why are you here? Why are you viewing me? Answer that question. Maybe you're just obsessed with me. Am I right? Maybe you're a fan, or maybe you're learning from me. Maybe you hate me, but at the same time, you like listening to me because I'm speaking the truth, right? Because obviously, I'm not on your channel. You're watching me, remember? I didn't ask you to be here. You made the choice to come show up. So that means you're obsessed with me. So why are you here? I mean, you're not here to learn anything, right? So then your purpose for being here is to troll and mock and laugh and scoff. That would make you obsessed by your own admission. Now, when I was in my 20s and tithing ruined my life, I had to file for bankruptcy to pretty much get myself situated. And then I got some information from a white guy on how to, I guess, beat the debt that I was in so that I won't owe certain things. And I ended up following his advice on what exactly to do. And I got out of, I think it was around 5,000 something dollars in debt. Like they cleared it instantly. Like I didn't even have to pay nothing. I just followed the advice of what he gave me. And I never been in debt ever again to credit cards and stuff like that. Um, and it's mainly because I stopped tithing. Once I stopped, I experienced freedom like never before because I've been doing it for years. When I calculate the amount of money that I tithe, it's literally in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if I would have had that money today, I'll be in a whole different situation. Tithing is ruining many of your lives. You feel it, you know it. You just don't want to admit it because you've been invested in these churches for so long and you've been brainwashed. Because the job of these false prophets and these false pastors is to make you believe that God is going to curse you if you don't tithe, and he's going to bless you if you do tithe. Guys, that's crazy. That's madness. Let me ask you a question. When Black Americans were in slavery, were we tithing? No. But we were cursed. We were in bondage, right? We were literally in captivity. Were we celebrating any holy holidays? No. We were in captivity. It's interesting to me that once blacks got out of slavery, all of a sudden they set up churches and start collecting money from people under the guise of they're doing the work of God. They're not doing no work of God. They're living off the people. You understand? That's all this is. Church is a business for profit, and they're all connected to the government, 501c3. And the government tell them what to say and what not to say. That's what they do. You know? I need for all of you to stop tithing money to churches effective immediately. Don't do it. Because nowhere in the Bible does it teach you to tithe money. Nowhere. This is what pastors want you to do, and it's keeping you poor. I promise you, the day you stop tithing, your life will switch around. Imagine you did overtime on your job, you made a good paycheck this period, but now you got to give more money in your tithe to your church because you're under the fear of, if I don't do it, God is going to curse me. It's not coming from your heart. You understand? We got everything all mixed up when it comes to money and giving. A lot of people don't even understand. 99% of when the Bible talk about giving, it's not even talking about money. That's another problem we got. There is something about giving your time and giving your energy to help people. That's what it means to give. A lot of times we think everything is about money. I understand money has its place. I get that part. But most of the times when the scriptures talk about giving, it's talking about giving your time in supporting people, helping people to get things done. Now, if money is needed, that's one thing. But don't let people talk you into, you got to give tithe money. I need 10% of your money. So that means if I want to get tithe money from you good people, all I got to do is just go start up a church, call myself a pastor, and then your dumb ass is going to give me 10% of your money. Do you see how stupid you are? That's exactly what's happening to you right now. You're making these self-appointed charlatans come out here, start churches, and then tell you you need to send 10% of your money to them. GOCC leader Ricard makes $33,000 a month on Patreon. That's just Patreon. Do it take $33,000 to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ? Yes or no? Do it take $33,000 a month to teach people to repent of their sins? It is sad that the wolves in sheep's clothing get all the support, and the real men of the Lord that speaks the flaming truth, no one supports them. See, I don't need support to preach the truth because I've been doing this for free since 2006. Dedicated. You know when I first monetized my YouTube channel? Because I do YouTube full time, just in case you're a dumbass who think I do videos for free when I have a family of 6 to provide for. This is what I do full time. This is how I earn a living to live. Just in case you're an idiot who come here to scoff and mock and think that things just work without me working to make it happen. I've been doing YouTube since 2006. You know when I monetized my channel? You guess what year I did? 2017 is when I first monetized my YouTube channel. So from 2006 all the way to 2017, I was doing content for free, earning nothing, working at a 9 to 5, going through, doing what I had to do. And yet, when it comes to breaking down these kind of videos for people to wake up, it's as if though they think you don't need any sort of support. But yet you got a wolf in sheep's clothing that's collecting over $150,000 in tithes. Now, I want you to think about this. If pastors like Creflo Dollar are multimillionaires, Kenneth Copeland, he's a billionaire. Dr. Leroy Thompson, multimillionaire. Jesse Duplantis, multimillionaire. What's the other one? TD Snakes, multimillionaire. All of these pastors are millionaires. Why the church congregation is poor? Because all the money is going to the pastor. Why nobody can't see that? It don't take no money to preach the gospel. Of course not. It's one of the biggest scams in the world. Jesus Christ never collected nothing in terms of millions of dollars. Where's his money? The Bible says he didn't even have a house. His disciples were broke. You understand that? But in today's day, the false prophets convince you that they need all this money in order to preach the gospel. I've seen these GOCC characters talking about they're going overseas to preach the gospel and they're doing all this stuff. And I'm saying to myself, why are you overseas when right here in America, we got so much problems with our people, but you overseas talking to other people? No, you overseas making money. It's very easy to make more money overseas spreading the quote unquote gospel because most people over there are impoverished. So when you tell them about these things, they believe it right away. You understand? You don't see none of these pastors, Creflo Dollar, TD Jakes, you never see them at the projects. When have you ever seen a mega church pastor at the projects in New York preaching, standing outside with a bullhorn, speakers, giving out food, giving out clothes, creating jobs? You never see this. They stay in them churches because in them churches is where you can make money, passing the bucket around. You can't pass the bucket around outside. They need you in those buildings. So tithing is a way in which these 501c3 churches make money not only for themselves, but also for the government. Because remember, the government got to get their cut, you know? And it's a money-making business. If you are a person who's tithing money to a church right now, Stop tithing today. You don't have to do that. God is not going to punish you. God is not going to curse you. You are under a fear manipulative tactic that controlled your thought patterns. I was once like you. I was once there, guys. I was once a faithful tither, giving all my money, going broke, struggling. There have been times I was in the rent office and I'm telling the people, like, I don't got it. I can't pay this rent. And they're like, well, we need this money. And I'm like, man, like, could you give me a little more time? Times when I'm at the supermarket and I got to figure out what I could buy to eat because I just don't got it. And it's embarrassing. And I would attend church service. And while I'm in church service, lifting my hands to God, my refrigerator was empty. And I noticed something. Here I am in church, everybody's singing and dancing, praising God. And my refrigerator have no food. And I realized, why am I in this place? God is not here. There is no way God is in this church because I'm going through all these struggles, no food in the house, could barely pay my rent. And yet, God didn't do nothing. And that's when I believe God told me, you need to leave this place because I'm not here. You've been deceived. You've been lied to. They promised you a lot of things, telling you that I was going to do this and I was going to do that. God never promised me none of those things. You know, they're lying. And that's what makes a lot of people end up hating God and they blame God for their problems when it's not God. You've been taught by a false prophet. You know, shout out to Exed for the 10. Says telling you to pay 10% of your earnings. The Most High doesn't need my money. He needs me to be righteous. That's exactly what it is. They're busy telling all of us to give our money to God. The money is not going to God. If it's going to God, why they're not sacrificing it by burning it? Why the pastors don't take up an offering, right, and then burn the money as a sacrifice to God? They're not doing that. The money go in their bank account. Think about this, guys. When you give your money to church, it goes directly to the pastor's bank account and he's living good. You can't see you're stupid. You can't see that you're an idiot. I had to recognize that I was stupid. Don't get offended. It's the truth. You're giving all your money to a pastor who's telling you that God is going to bless you if you give him 10% of your money. God, so I got to buy blessings from God? What? Nowhere in the Bible does it tell you to do that. Tithing, according to the Bible, had nothing to do with money. It was about food. And here's another fun fact. Everyone in the Bible didn't tithe. The only people in the Bible who tithe were landowners, herdsmen. You understand? Farmers. They were the ones who tithe. And again, if you hear anybody talking like me, breaking things down like me, they're copying my talking points. Do you understand? Nobody been commissioned by God to teach this message the way I am. People copy other people. You understand? And I don't appreciate that. If God didn't call you to do something, stop trying to do something that you were not called to do before you get called out. This message is very serious to me because it affected my life. And I know it affects a lot of people's lives today because it's very manipulative the way these pastors control you to give your money with fear. They use fear to control you, to make you afraid. They tell you, will a man rob God? But you have robbed me. Wherewith have we robbed you? In tithe and offering. Prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I would not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. Ye sons of Jacob are cursed with a curse. Curse? What did we do? You ain't tithe. Bring all the tithes to the storehouse, that I may have meat in mine house. Notice he says meat. He ain't saying money. Tithing was about food, resources, because the Levites were in the temple. The Levites had no inheritance. So the tithe came from landowners, herdsmen, and farmers who had an abundance of supply, where they were able to give 10%. 10% of their goats, 10% of their chickens, this, that. That's how it was, guys. Not money. The fruit of the ground, the fruit of the land. That was the tithe. And it only came, again, it only came from landowners, herdsmen, and farmers. The average common folk did not tithe anything. You had to be growing something in order to tithe. So what pastors in today's day have done is they twist the scripture and figured out a way to monetize the gospel by saying Jesus Christ is of the order of Melchizedek, so therefore you need to tithe money in order for us to continue to do ministry. Nowhere in the Bible did you see that. There is no scriptures of Jesus Christ literally ordering people to tithe money to church. None. There's no scriptures of Jesus Christ teaching you to tithe money to his ministry. It's not in the book. You've been lied to by all these prominent ministers. And when I left Christianity, I got into the Hebrew Israelite religion, and then I end up leaving that. Now I am literally independently focusing on God, and I no longer associate with religion because I realize that all of these institutions are man-made and they're all out to get paid. Now, there's nothing wrong with making money, and there's nothing wrong with supporting people that you feel need the support. What we're not going to do is lie and teach people to tithe in the form of money when the Bible never taught that. The Bible never told any of us to give 10% of our paychecks to a pastor. Remember, tithes went to the Levites. There's not one scripture where it says tithe money to a pastor. Find me one Bible scripture. One. Just one. All you need is one of a pastor receiving 10% of money from anyone. Show me it. One Bible verse. There are none. Because there's no scripture commanding, teaching anyone to give money, 10%, to a pastor so he could do the ministry. This is where they lied to us. Guys, listen to me very carefully. Watch this. If God called a pastor to build a church, why God didn't just give him the money? Why? Why would God tell a man, go start a church, but don't give him the money to start the church? And now that man got to come beg you for the money. See, I understand that everything in life is business. I'm a movie producer, film producer, director, musician, composer, and there's a lot of projects I want to do, and it's going to require money. And it needs the support of the people because it can't get done without people supporting the work. So I understand that. At the same time, these charlatans and these wolves put curses on you by telling you that if you don't tithe, God is going to curse you. That's not going to motivate me to want to continue doing that. You understand? Once I woke up to the truth, I realized that these pastors really don't got no love for the people. Why would you tell me God is going to curse me if I don't tithe? That I'm in sin. Nowhere in the Bible does it say you're in sin because you didn't give a tithe. You've been brainwashed your whole life, guys. I woke up millions of people in regards to the tithing lie. Millions. From 2006 till now. A lot of people use my old content. They don't ever give me no credit. They don't want nobody to know who I am. They want me to wither away so that they could take my credit for the work that I've done and the contributions that I've done in this world. Worst thing you could do to a man is not give him his credit for his contributions. I remember attending a church service. The videos are still online. A lot of people stole my work of Creflo Dollar and Dr. Leroy Thompson running on money on a stage. If any of you ever seen those videos where you saw these two men running on money, those are my videos. I was at that church service. I bought the VHS and I uploaded it to YouTube to expose them. Because when I was in that service, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was seeing grown men worshiping money, running on money, dancing on money, and I couldn't believe it. While that stage was filled with money, I was broke, poor, struggling. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, all my needs are right up on that stage and I can't even get anything. And I'm like, wow, this I need to let people see this. That was at the Faith Convention. If I'm correct, the 1997 Faith Convention in College Park, Georgia, at the World Dome. Look it up. I bought all the VHS tapes with that meeting. And I decided to come to YouTube to air it out. When I aired out and exposed the tithing lie, I was condemned by everybody. Nobody liked me from when I did that. They were angry with me because I was ruffling up the feathers. I was ruffling up the lies that everybody been taught, you know? Let me shout out these super chats real fast before they disappear off the screen. Shout out to Exed57 says, they really comes up with the holidays of Christmas and Easter comes around. Well, when those days come around, that's when they want more money. They want more and more money. Like, I'm going to have to do a separate video about when churches have these celebrations. When they have these celebrations in these churches, it's nothing but a money grab, right? A lot of this stuff, guys, if you want, you should be doing this in the privacy of your own home. Just like when it comes to Passover and all this other stuff. When you see all these charlatans having these social media gatherings and all this other stuff, it's a money grab. Like, I'm going to reveal to you how much money GOCC, I can actually do that right now. Let me see if I'm going to do that right now. Give me a minute. I'm going to show you how much money GOCC made when they went live doing their Passover service. Give me a minute, guys. I got to go get this laptop so that I can do what I got to do. I got to show you all of this stuff because people won't believe me, man. They won't believe me unless I show this to you. But I have websites and different information that I can get that can show you guys exactly what's going on. And this is not about pocket watching. This is about accountability and how church funds are being accumulated and made as a way to profit off the people, right? So let me do this. Let me go to this particular site and check this out. No, I will not give the site because then now everybody will be copying me even more on how to find these pastors and these leaders and do what they need to do. But let me go find this out. Let me see. Let me see. I don't even know if I'm logged in because it may not work. I think you need to be logged in. Okay. Da, 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 da. All right. So right now it says that the Gathering of Christ leader, Elder Ricard, is on live right now, based on what I'm seeing. So on the Passover meeting they had yesterday, they made $1,318 in super chats. Now, where in the Bible on Passover were the men and women making money and giving donations? Answer that question. I'll wait. When on Passover did they do these things? They never did that. So that's merchandising the people. Shout out to Brenda for the $10 support. Says, thank you so much, Ringo, for sharing your videos, insights, truth. Much appreciated. Following God only. That's exactly how you do it. Don't follow religion. Just have a relationship between you and the Most High, and you figure it out that way, right? That's pretty much it. Read your Bible. Use your life experiences to make you understand what's happening. That's the best way to do things. Shout out to Burner CJ. Shout out to you for the $20 support. Says, keep up the good work, brother. Salute to your work. Appreciate the supporting of the show. So let me get back to this, right? So now I want you to see this, right? Because a lot of you may not believe me, right? But let me do this. Now, obviously, the screen is reversed, so you probably wouldn't know. But if you look, it says Passover. Now, you see the dollar amount? That's how much they made in super chats yesterday. You see that? Now, it's amazing that a man goes live doing a Passover service. The people give him $1,300 and some odd dollars for what? For what? What does that have to do with Passover? Y'all can't see this? Now remember, the GOCC leader makes over $150,000 a month on social media alone. What is the point of that? Oh, you're just hating, you're just jealous. It's amazing. It is amazing how in the Christian church, we were always taught that these prosperity pimps are robbing the people. Then you come over into the Hebrew Israelite faith, they're doing the same thing. Robbing God's people. I don't get no support like that from the people, and I do excellent content. And when I do content, this ain't no gospel show. I'm not here preaching the gospel. This is not a church. I'm a content creator and a family man. I do content. At the same time, I'm trying to figure out for the life of me, why is it that religious people are so gullible that this man Ricard is a millionaire? Y'all didn't know that? Y'all didn't know that Elder Ricard is a millionaire? Y'all did not know that? He's a millionaire. Y'all didn't know? This man comes on camera with his hair looking crazy, raggedy clothes, looking all humble. But behind the scenes, the man is a millionaire. And he acts poor in order for you to give more money. When he go home to a big, big house. Ask Ricard to show you his property. He won't do that. And he don't even have to show you the location in terms of the address. Ask Ricard of GOCC to show you where he lived. It'll shock you. You'll be like, what? Yes. And I'm not saying you can't live somewhere nice, but you don't rob God's people to do it. You're supposed to earn your way. You don't rob God's people in order to get to a certain level in life. I do everything the right way. I do everything the right way. The right way. Is that man following the scriptures? No. He's following money. That's what the Bible speaks against these wolves, talking about they do what they do for filthy lucre. They don't care about the people. Tithing will keep you poor. Stop tithing money to churches. Stop. Liberate yourself. This was my first message when I got on YouTube. My first message. I think I still got the first message up on this platform. I think I re-uploaded it, but if I don't, I might have to put it back up again. When you see the younger version of me on those videos, you'll be like, what? Yeah. I don't even know if I still got it. Let me see if I got that video up. Let me see if I still got it up. Because I might have to post it again. I might have to post it again, but let me see if I still got it. Let me see. It's an old video. I don't think it's up. I don't know. I don't think it's up. Trying to find it. Nah. I don't think I have it up. No. I probably gotta put it back up. I gotta put it back up. Stop tithing money to churches. It's keeping you poor. Tithing to churches destroyed my life and my family in an early age. And even though I struggled, I believe that God made me struggle, which I hate to say that. But I believe that God purposely makes people struggle for a reason, just so they could teach a message. And I don't want to believe that, but it happened and it's true. I think God made me struggle just so I could teach that message. Because that was my first message when I came to YouTube. My first message was teaching people to not tithe to churches, because that is what I was doing, and it was a lie, and it ruined everything that I was working on. Let me tell you how bad it was, man. Not only were we tithing money, broke, living from paycheck to paycheck, struggling, no food in the house. When my mom was alive, because she passed away due to cancer, she would have to come to help me out. I'm in my early 20s. We living on our own, going through the motion. We didn't even have a bed, bro. We didn't even have a bed. Literally an apartment, sleeping on the floor with blankets for literally about a year and a half, struggling. And my mom would come through with some groceries because she already knew what time it was. And all of that stuff taught me so much about the church, life, and how it's one big game to keep people down. And there's a lot of people in 2026 that are still tithing, and you're going broke, man. You can't even live. If you keep that tithe money, you'll be able to pay those debts that you owe. Because some of you are responsible people. You want to pay your bills. You want to do things right. If I know I owe debts, I really want to pay the bills. I really do. Because I know I put myself in a situation, you know? But it will cripple you, man. It will cripple you. Brian said, tithing almost destroyed me. See? I'm telling you, man, it's not a game, y'all. It's not a game, man. Let me see. Let me shout these super chats out before they disappear. Shout out to Shatika Hollis for the $20 support. Says Drewski wasn't lying when he made that skit. Everything he did was something that actually took place in church. Yeah, and I never even reacted to his skit, but I already know it's true because he's really reenacting a pastor who actually did that, was flying around in the air. There's a pastor who really did that. I know the history of it. That's where he got the idea from. But pastors always do that. They rob the people of God. Shout out to Denise for the 10, says supporting this truth. Appreciate the support. Shout out to Bernice again for the 10. And we have JC 2300 for the 5. Let me see. All right. So now, why it's important to know this information. If we can stop pastors from collecting this tithe money, you stop their operation. They don't want this message out there. Creflo Dollar know who I am. TD Jakes know who I am. All the mega church pastors know who Ringo TV is because I've been exposing them for years. On YouTube, you have everybody talking about pastors now. It's a trending thing. Everybody talking about what the pastors are doing. All of this stuff I started back in the day. Nobody was doing that. It wasn't popular to do that. You would get attacked. Your channels would be destroyed because these pastors would come after you. All of this stuff happened to me back in the day. And I fought many ministries due to their lives, like Juanita Bynum. She's another false prophetess who's always begging God's people for money and ripping them off. And she was caught in a lesbian affair. A lot of y'all may not know that, but Juanita Bynum is actually a so-called, she goes both ways. This is a fact. I got the videos. Can't lie about that. She tried to cover it up. What's that other woman, Paula White? Her husband is gay, or the former husband, excuse me. I think his name is, what's his name? It start with a B, I believe it is. He was caught at a gay club. I'm the guy that actually exposed that particular situation. He was hanging out with his gay lover at a gay club in front of the club outside with the guy had his legs on his lap. I exposed that on YouTube and their marriage ended. I'm the one who caused Paula White's marriage to end because I was out here doing the work of the Most High, exposing these false prophets for who they really are. When it comes to Bishop Eddie Long was sleeping with 4 boys in church. I'm the guy who came to YouTube to expose Eddie Long for sleeping with boys in the church. Nobody didn't know about this till I broke the story. When I broke the story, the news media began to capture the story. When I tell you guys, back in the day, I was crippling these churches because of all of their adultery, their lies, their fornication, and their evil. You understand? They know who I am. Eddie Long came to the pulpit and denied having sex with those boys. Then it came out that he was lying. T.D. Jakes was defending him. Many men were defending him. Jamal Bryant literally inherited Bishop Eddie Long's church. Now you think about that. Jamal Bryant inherited a church full of dead men bones. And y'all supporting Jamal Bryant. This is really, really sad, guys. One pastor sleeping with young boys, and then now y'all give Jamal Bryant the torch and the mantle to continue the church. That church is supposed to be shut down. Because if you can recall, Eddie Long's wife ended up leaving him because he was having sex with boys in church. Creflo Dollar has always been robbing God's people, viciously taking advantage of God's people. And people still support these guys. When are we going to wake up and come to God and repent and just seek God for who he is, minus religion? You don't need religion. You don't need to go to church. Guys, listen to me. My wife is downstairs right now, right? I'm going to ask you a question. All right? I want you to pretty much, let the people know exactly what the truth is. When you were pregnant with our first daughter, we went to that meeting where Creflo wasn't at the meeting and Taffy Dollar was there. What did Taffy Dollar say when it came to we had to tithe? What did Taffy Dollar say? Look, I'm like this, guys. I'm not looking at her.
She said, we no longer have to tithe.
Speak a little louder.
We no longer have to tithe to the church.
She said what?
We no longer have to tithe to the church.
Or it wasn't required.
Or was it required?
That's what she said. Taffy Dollar told us, you're not required to tithe. I was like, what? That's what she said. She slipped up and was like, as you make out your tithes and your offerings, just know you're not really required to tithe. It's just something you could do if you want to do it. And I'm like, what?
Creflo was there.
If Creflo wasn't there that meeting, if Creflo was there, he would have grabbed his wife off that stage and cussed her out. Once we heard that, what did we do once I heard that?
We said we're not coming back. We're not going back.
I don't even know if you can hear because she's talking low. Because when I'm asking you this, you got to come close to the camera. You don't have to come on camera. You just got to come close.
She said, no, we said we're not going back to the church.
We literally decided we're not coming back to church. Once I heard that. Once I heard Taffy Dollar say we're not required to tithe, I was pissed off. You know why? Because we struggled for years and years and years, tithing money after money, unable to pay our bills, literally struggling, arguing, fighting, going crazy, going through the motion because we're struggling. And then she had the nerve to say, it's not even required for you to do that. And over the years, once we left the church, Creflo Dollar came out with a video saying that he lied to the people of God for many, many years in regards to tithing. You know why Creflo did that? Because of my work. My work finally made Creflo Dollar recognize that he'd been lying to God's people for years. And because he's in his old age, he's trying to get right with God. He's going to still be judged for that. Because guess what Creflo did? Not only did he admit that he'd been lying to God's people for years in regards to tithing, he twisted it again and said, even though you're not required to tithe, you could still do it if it's in your heart. Guys, I have a video. I'm going to bring it back up of Creflo Dollar. And here's the thing, because it seems like anytime I say these things, other people want to go copy and do what I do. And it really is annoying me. It really is annoying me. But I'm going to show you guys a video that I have online that I had up for many, many years of Creflo Dollar standing in the pulpit saying that we need to execute people that don't tithe.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that video?
Yeah.
Creflo Dollar says to all the non-tithers, we need to bring them in the back of the church and kill them, bury them, and then go back into the church and praise God.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
When I played that on YouTube and exposed him years ago, that made Creflo lose his mind. Because he said this in church. Like I said, we were following him. Nobody knew. I would take everything I saw in that church and I would come to YouTube exposing it. Y'all never seen that? Okay, I'm bringing it back. I'm going to bring it back, guys. And when you see this and you hear this with your own mouth, it's going to make you realize how sick the rabbit hole goes, man. Creflo literally instructed his ushers and everybody by telling them this, and people thought he was joking. I'm like, yo, I can't believe I'm hearing this in church. He said to all the non-tithers, we're going to bring you to the back of the church. We're going to all get guns, shoot you, kill you, bury you, and then go back in the church and praise God. And Creflo said this is what they did to non-tithers in the Bible. That's a lie. Nowhere in the Bible was anybody executed for not tithing. But this is what Creflo taught, and it put fear in all of us. You remember how fearful I was when it came to tithing? I was like, oh no, we gotta tithe. I don't want God gonna punish us. And it seemed like anything that happened bad, we thought God was doing it. We were young and just couldn't pay the rent. You remember them days? Remember in the rent office, the crying?
Yeah.
Y'all think this is a fucking joke. I'm not joking. This is real. Do you understand me? This is real. People are going through it. You understand? Tithing crippled us back in the day. I'm not here playing. Y'all think all this is theatrics like I'm playing? I'm trying to free your mind. Because a lot of you are in bondage to these churches. People think this is a damn joke. And imagine you in the rent office crying because you can't pay your rent. But you sent off that check to the pastor. Remember we used to put it in an envelope, send our money orders to the church? People think this is a joke, bro. I told them that story about how when we went to that meeting and we went to, it was the 1997 Faith Convention, right? Yeah. Okay.
Next year we got married.
Right. The next year after the Faith Convention is when we got married because people were looking at us like we crazy and whatnot. That's when we caught that dude. Remember the pastor? Mm-hmm. He was in the room shacking up in the hotel with that other woman, remember? Yeah. We saw him come out the room. He was fixing his pants? Yeah. I was like, whoa, wait a minute now, pastor. We caught the pastor coming out of the hotel room with this woman. Caught. I was like, man. And he was telling us, oh, y'all not married? Y'all not married? And here he is over here doing dirt. Big hypocrite. Caught him. Couldn't believe it. He was fixing his pants, putting his shirt in his pants. Like, you know, like how when you wear a pair of slacks and you put your pants. I'm like, what was going on in that hotel room? And the woman came out, her hair was all messed up. I was like, wow. During the Faith Convention, God was there watching. Absolutely crazy. Give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. Yeah. And my apologies, guys, for cussing and flipping out. But at the same time, I'm not playing, guys. This is very, very serious when I tell you the things that I've been through when it comes to religion and the church in regards to tithing. Oh man, wow! I just got an idea. I'll talk to you once I get off the stream. Woo! Oh man, I just got an idea. Wow! 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 Man, I just got an idea. The Most High just gave me something. We'll talk about that off camera. Man, yeah. So this tithing thing put us in a very bad situation. Tithing will make you poor. None of you can say that you've been tithing and God been blessing you. It's in your mind. It's a placebo. God is not blessing nobody when you tithe money. It's nowhere in the scriptures. There's no promise in the Bible that says, I'm going to bless you if you tithe money to a church. That don't make no sense. Let me tell you the story now. When we went to the 1997 Faith Convention, right? We ain't have no money. We were broke, poor, literally struggling. You were working at McDonald's. I'm there doing some barber stuff. We were struggling. You had that hoopty. Remember that hoopty car? And yeah, you had the hoopty car, but we had rented a car to go down there, right? So we rented a car to go down to the Faith Convention, right? We probably had, like, how much money you think we had when we went down there? Like $600, right? We went down there with about $600, right? We drove from New York all the way to Georgia. Long drive. And when I tell you, when it rains in Georgia, it rains. That's some serious rain. I never seen rain like that until we got to North Carolina. That North Carolina rain is crazy. When it rains, whoo-hoo, it rains. You can't even see when you're driving. And I don't know, the people that out here, they be driving. I'm like, how you guys seeing? I can't see nothing, but we drove all the way down to Georgia, right? So now we're at this meeting. We're giving all our money away in church. Yeah, we went to every service on that week. It was a whole week convention. Every service, we're giving away our money. It's like we were under a spell, under a trance. They would talk about it's opportunity time for prosperity. Bring your money. And they would have these blue envelopes. Bring your money. And everybody get happy. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we giving all our money. When it was time to leave, to come back home, we ain't have no money. I think like $20 is all we had. That was nothing. We ain't have no gas money. We didn't have nothing. We had to get back to New York. We ain't have no food. We ain't have no gas money. So we was gonna use the 20 to try to buy like some bread, some cold cuts, right? Figure some bread, $10 for about 2 loaves of bread. And you get some cold cuts and probably like a 6-pack of some soda or whatever, and that's food probably to get back. You know what I'm saying? We ain't have nothing. I remember we was asking one of the guys we met out there if he could give us some $20 or whatever for gas, and he tried to duck us, and we caught him right at the last minute before he left. He ended up giving us but if I'm correct, he's the one who gave us the $20. That 20, he the one who gave us the 20. That was for the gas. So he gave us 20 for the gas, but we had 20 for the food? Okay. So in total, that's $40. We didn't have no money, right? So now check this out. We're on the road. $20 from Georgia to New York. Now you know $20 is not getting you from Georgia to New York. In gas. So at this point, we ran out of food. We're in the car. gas tank is on E. Gas tank is on E, right?
Yeah, we was on Jersey.
Where we was at, in Jersey?
Yeah.
So we made it all the way down
We
then.
made it. Because remember, the tank was already full. We just had to.
So the tank was already full, but we used that 20 to fill it back up.
Mm-hmm.
But how? How?
We just got to New Jersey.
There's no way. There's no way. That's not how the story went. There's no way. Think about this. Think about if we're traveling from North Carolina to New York. How much times you got to go to the pump?
Just twice.
But I'm saying, how?
We already had.
So we had a full tank of gas.
Yes. So the $20 was able to last us until a certain amount.
I don't think it was New Jersey. It wasn't New Jersey. It was nowhere near.
It was on the turnpike.
Wherever it was not close to home. We had a long distance to get home. You know? We had no gas, guys. Car was empty. Guess what my wife did? She drives into the gas station. We there. I'm like, what we gonna do? She said, I'm gonna go ask the clerk to give us free gas in Jesus' name. I kid you not. I got it on video. You know I got it on video, right? I gotta find the tape. I know they don't believe me. I know we got that on tape. Because I have the camera. I know we got that. That footage is on tape. That footage is on tape. I gotta look through those cassette tapes, that's them videotapes that's in that cabinet. It's on tape. If I could post that, bro, that would be wild. They would see that, they'll be shocked. She goes up to the window. She points her hand like this. In the name of Jesus, we need gas. And you're going to give us the gas. I'm like this. No, she did not. The guy gave the gas. He gave the gas. He literally told her, go ahead. And that's how we were able to get back home. True story. But my point is, we were under mind control at the church. Because every meeting, we were giving away all our money. We didn't even think about, we got to get back home.
We were just so excited to be there.
And with all the money we ever gave Creflo Dollar Ministries, nothing came back as a blessing. Nothing. Everything we did till this day, I had to work for, or she had to work for. No blessings had come. We gave thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. I remember my mom, she had got some money from something that happened with some accident. And she tithed $900 and something to Creflo Dollar. Wasted all her money. And keep in mind, she was poor and broke, but gave all her money. This is what's happening, guys, every day. A lot of you may not want to admit it in the live chat, but some of you are still currently tithing, and you're being liberated right now. Like, this message is literally resonating with your spirit. Some of you may even be getting emotional because of the amount of suffering you've been through. God is using this message to tell you it's okay. You don't have to tithe no more. Because you need that bread. If you got paid $1,500 at your job, that $150, that could go towards them groceries, man. That could go towards that bill that's holding you back. I like paying my bills. I really do. I like making sure the bills is paid. And if there's an issue, I call up the company. I'll be like, hey, so and so and so. And I'll be like, look, I'm trying to do what I got to do. I'm a very responsible person. At the same time, I'm kind of in a jam right now. And I just want to know, like, what are my options to, I guess, get through this situation? And I let them know, like, look, I want to pay my bills. Like, I ain't trying to run from nothing. I ain't trying to duck debts and not do what I got to do. I want to do what I got to do, because that's what gives you good credit, is when you're able to take care of your responsibilities. But at the same time, when you tithing and all that money money going to Uncle Sam and money going to the pastor, come on, man. Enough is enough. That's too much. That's too much, guys. You're not earning enough to be giving everybody all your money. Inflation is hurting us. A lot of us are being hurt. You see? And it's not a game, man. It's not a game. Let me shout out these super chats real fast. Let me see who we got here. Multi B minus. Shout out to you for the $10 support. Says, when I see ATMs going into the church that I went to, that's when I knew I was done, while the rest of the fam kept going. Man, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. Once those ATMs start coming in the churches, that's when it's time to leave. And now churches receive Cash Apps, Venmos, PayPals, and it's just crazy because they're bringing in millions of dollars, guys. They don't need this money. This money is going strictly to the pastor's pockets.
Yeah, tax-free.
Tax-free. Right in his pockets. You're literally giving the pastor your money. It's not going to no outreach program, this, that. Guys, we got to wake up. None of that stuff exists. None of it. It's a game. They're taking your money and they're using it for their own personal lives. You see? That's what's going on. And nobody's holding these churches accountable for these things. Shout out to Xed57 for the 10. Says, manipulated people is like selling drugs. These pastors fit right in the category of a drug dealer. Yeah. But I call them sorcerers, spellcasters, and witches and warlocks, because they're using a spell to keep you under strong delusion. Because we were under a spell, guys. Like, literally, we were giving away all of our money. We were doing the rituals. Like, for example, there was a ritual that was being done in the Christian church, and I could admit this because it was a ritual. That's why I'm trying to let you guys know. Guys, when you come to this platform, right, I'm going to give you the truth. I'm not lying to none of you folks. I don't lie in my content to keep you watching. I tell you the truth. Dr. Leroy Thompson, if you ever heard of him, put a 1 in the chat. He have a ritual when you're in the church where it goes, money cometh to me now. And he tell you to stretch out your hand like you're pulling money in. And every time he was in these churches, he would let all of us do this ritual in church to pull money out of the spirit realm. That's what he would say, that you're pulling money out of the spirit realm. And when I'm hearing all of this mess, and I look back on the things I believed back then, I was under strong delusion. I was under a spell. I was under a spell, guys. Church will put you under a spell. They get you through the music. The music in the church is what puts you under a spell. I'm a musician, composer, producer. If I go bring my keyboard downstairs and play some melodies, I can make you start to cry. I can make you cry by just the keyboard playing. I can make you angry by playing a certain tone. I can make you get emotional. I can make you motivated. Music has power and energy that could put you in a mood. That's why a lot of you love music, because some music put you in a good mood. Some music make you feel peaceful, and you just sit in your car and vibe, So the music would put us in a trance, and that's how they're able to get the money out of you. And this happened to us every single time. We used to be, giving all our money away, man. You remember that mess? Yo, it's crazy when you look back and you think about the amount of money you sent these pastors, man. Remember that time when I asked Creflo to buy me the keyboard?
Got that video too,
I
right?
got the video. I'm gonna post it. Some of them are gonna laugh when I post the video because they're gonna see the young version of Ringo TV. They're gonna see the 20-year-old, or I don't know how it was, 1920 in that video. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna set that up because I gotta transfer it from the VHS tapes. Yeah, I really wanted the keyboard. I had to literally work to go buy the keyboard. I asked Creflo Dollar to buy me a keyboard in a letter.
It was $3,000, right?
Yeah, it was 3,000. Because he was a multimillionaire, and I wrote him a letter and I made a complete video to send to Creflo Dollar so that he can get me that keyboard. And I was pretty confident that he was going to get it. And it's just a keyboard. I didn't ask for no money. I asked for a keyboard so I can make music for God. Because I ain't gonna lie, a lot of the music that they were playing at the conventions were very, very moving. Very, very powerful music that really moved your soul. Gospel music has a way of doing that. But at the same time, gospel music is a money-making business. And you have to understand that. And here's another fun fact that you might not know. The majority of the musicians that produce the music are like that. Majority of the musicians. So not only are you being manipulated by the pastor, but the music is being produced from energy that is like this. And that's not a shot to that community. My point is, when the church is manipulating you to take your money, and at the same time, the people who are the musicians are the ones being used to keep you under this trance. This energy is not coming from a godly place. It's coming from a place of sin. So when you think about that, you're literally being destroyed in these churches. And I know for a fact that many of you are still caught up because I was once there. I was once blind in the church, giving all our money away. Broke. Remember when we couldn't buy food and my mom would come bring groceries? Every time. Right on time, remember? Right on time. She'll come. Right. It's like we be starving for 2-3 days, no food in the house. And my mom would come out of nowhere. We never even asked her for nothing, remember? We didn't ask her for nothing. It's like the Most High would just put it on her heart, bring 2 bags of groceries. Not a bunch of groceries, but she would bring some things that would get us through. You know what I mean? And that is how we were able to survive, man. Remember when we ain't have no mattress, sleeping on the floor? Remember that, man? No furniture. Echo all throughout the house. See, a lot of people can't talk about these things, and this is why I feel that I'm more genuine and natural when it comes to doing this type of content because I don't lie to the people. I know that a lot of you been through these type of things. Hey guys, whatever noise y'all doing back there by them steps, y'all need to go upstairs with that. Right? So I'm more natural when it comes to doing this because I don't sugarcoat, I don't act, I don't play. It's like how when I'm talking to my kids, I just talk straight. I'm not like, oh, you know what? Shh, let me do this. I turned off the volume so I could give you an understanding of when people do certain things, they turn the volume down because they don't want nobody to hear nothing. No, I make you hear things because I want you to understand how real life is. I'm a family man. You understand? This is what I do. So I'm transparent with the viewers. Whereas a lot of people are fake and they come on social media and they lie every day in order to earn a dollar. I don't lie to nobody. You know what I mean? I just speak the truth and share the truth as much as I can so that people can wake up from these lies. I don't want you to suffer no more paying tithes to these churches. And the reason why I'm using Elder whatchamacallit, Ricariar, whatever his name is because he's teaching these lies to God's people. And he's supposed to be a Hebrew Israelite. He's doing the same thing the Christian church is doing. if not worse, because he know the truth, but in order to make money, he figured, hey, let me lie to God's people. You know, it's crazy. Shout out to Exed 57 for the 5 says, if y'all didn't know, young Ringo is Devontae from Jodeci. I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day, you can ask my wife. She'll tell you. Back in the day, anytime I walk the street with dark shades, a bunch of the girls used to run me down all damn day. All day. I remember one time I went on the bus. Man, it was what, the B35? What's the bus that go on? No, the B35 ran on Church Avenue. What's the bus that is that the B41 that go on Flatbush? B41, right? I get on the B41 because I'm trying to go to King's Plaza to go get me some shoes, and I wanted to go to Sam Ash Music Store because it was right across the street from King's Plaza. I'm on the bus. Yo, the girls started going crazy. Crazy on the bus. They're like, oh my goodness, Devontae! I'm like, I have the shades on. You gonna see when I post the video. You gonna see. When I post the video, you're gonna be like, oh snap. Yeah. And I wasn't even trying to look or act like this dude. Everything. It was like a split in image. And in a way, I'm like, this is why I keep getting all this damn attention. I go look up Devontae Swing, and I'm like, oh snap, that's that group that I like with the music. You know what I mean? But it was crazy. It was really, really crazy, man. Like I couldn't even get away from that, man. I was afraid to walk outside. I was literally afraid, man. Like literally, girls just going all over the place, man. And keep in mind, I was like, what? How old was I? Like 18, 19, somewhere around there. Man, I couldn't shake them off me, man. That's how it was. Like they were just throwing themselves at me like crazy. Oh my goodness, can I get a picture? Oh my goodness. I'm like, bro, this is wild, man. Some of you guys probably like, man, I want that attention, Ringo. I want that. Nah, I don't think you want that, man. It got annoying after a while because they're thinking I'm some other dude. So for me, that wasn't like it wasn't good for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they liked me. They thought I was another guy. You know? But yeah, man, tithing was never instituted by God as a way for you to give to a pastor. Never was. It had nothing to do with money. And I think that a lot of people and churchgoers are not educated in understanding this truth. You've been taught by a pastor that just want money. You've been lied to. I think the first step you got to admit to yourself is that you've been lied to. That's the first thing. In order to be free, you gotta admit it and come to the realization that you've been lied to. Once you do that, then the door can be open for you to walk out and be free. Once you free yourself from tithing, it's a wonderful feeling you're going to get because now you're going to see your money now. Now you're going to begin to be able to pay your bills rather than using one credit card to pay off another credit card. Remember that dumb stuff we used to do? Take one credit card to pay off another credit card. See, I'm telling you guys stupid stuff we did when we were in our 20s. Stupid stuff, you know? Remember when I got my first credit card and I thought it was free money and I went shopping and maxed out the card? Listen, man, I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about, guys. Get out of these churches and stop letting them rob you. You know? Huh? What somebody said? Let me see. Mr. Ringo, how did you get the courage to stop tithing to the church? Did you stop going to the church? I just stopped tithing because we realized what the truth was. Remember when we started to read the Bible for ourselves and we started learning and we knew something was wrong, but we continued going. Remember? I was like, right, before we got in the church, we were in the scriptures. But when it came to tithing, it's like I didn't know or understand it. I just kind of took whatever the pastor said. I figure he must be telling the truth, right?
Bring ye all the tithes to the storehouse.
Right. Bring ye all the tithes to the storehouse. I'm like, wait a minute. He's not storing the money. He's using the money for himself. So at that point, I knew that the pastor was lying to God's people. And it's like whenever we had a need and we would ask the church, they wouldn't give us anything.
Yeah, we taking the bus and
We taking the bus to church. We got to walk to church, taking skateboards and roller skates to church. And the pastor is millionaires. And I'm like, nah, this ain't right. We were there at the meeting when Leroy Thompson was running on the money. We were at that service. You know, that's where the recording come from. I bought the VHS tape and I put it on YouTube where you saw Creflo Dollar and Leroy Thompson running on the money. Let me see if I can find it. Because I don't have it on my YouTube channel, but other people stole my videos, and I'm sure it's on a lot of people's channel. Let me see. Creflo Dollar running on money. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. Because all of these people stole my videos and they got millions of views. I'm even seeing the other video of Creflo Dollar talking about tithe or die. Let me see if this still. Let me see. Hold on.
We can't shoot and stone people like we used to.
Listen.
All we have to do is repent. God will forgive us and take us where we need to be. But I tell you, man, if it wasn't for the blood, there'd be a whole lot of us being stoned and being in hell right now over the time. But for the blood of Jesus, we'd be doomed. I mean, I thought about when we first built the dome, I wanted to put some of those little moving bars and give everybody a little card. They stick it in a little computer slot. And if they were tithing, beautiful music would go off. And, you know, welcome, welcome, welcome to the world dome. But if they were non-tithers, the bar would lock up, the red and blue lights would start going, a siren would go off, and a voice would go throughout the entire dome. Crook, 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 crook. Security would go and apprehend them, and once we got them all together, we'd line them up in the front and pass out Uzis by the ushers. We point our Uzis right at all those non-tithing members because we want God to come to church. And at the count of 3 Jesuses, we'd shoot them all dead. And then we'd take them out the side door there, have a big hole, bury them, and go ahead and have church and have the anointing. Aren't you glad we're under the blood of Jesus? Because if we were not under the blood of Jesus, I would certainly try it. And if you take time to tithe the tithe correctly, it's impossible to go to hell.
Did you hear that? He said if we weren't under the blood of Jesus, he would definitely try it. Right? Now, let me go to the other video that I wanted you to see of these guys running on money. Hold on. All these people stole my videos. I used to get millions of views. Millions. And this guy here stole my work. What's his name? He changed his name because it wasn't that. He changed his name. It was called Wretched TV back then. He copied my stuff. Some white guy robbed my damn content and he blurred out my name. He blurred out my name. Yeah. That's my video. Somebody stole it, blurred out my name, didn't give me no credit. I was at that service. Look at the people. They running on money.
You want your bills paid?
This clown right here, this guy, this white guy, stole my work trying to make it seem like he did something. That's my work. But this is what people do on social media. They steal your work and they don't credit you. You know, they go make money off the stuff you put out. But that's the point. You see him running on money. You see them doing this. I was at that service. I got the original VHS tape of that happening. You know? So you heard Creflo talk about shooting people that don't tithe. Where is that in the Bible? Where is it in the Bible where it says to unalive people for not tithing? God never did that in the Bible. Never did. So, what time is it about now? 8? That's wrong. That's wrong. Probably 8. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a live stream where I'm going to talk about Ricard and his tithing doctrine and why you need to turn from that ministry. Shout out to Jeff Strong for the membership. Shout out to Brandon for the $5 support. Says showing love, fam. Question: what's your opinion on moving to New York just for work, short term? I know you're from that area. If you're gonna move to New York short term just for work, I mean, they have a lot. First of all, everything in New York is expensive, right? At the same time, I don't know your situation. If you got money, then you'll be good to go. They got some. Hmm? He said it's for work. So.
But is it a good offer? Is it a great opportunity?
Well, his question is, moving to New York just for work, which means he already had an opportunity. So there got to be something that's there.
Good money.
I don't know that. That he would have to explain that to me. Remember, we're on a live stream. He's just writing text. I don't know that. I'm going off of what he wrote. He's going there for work. So obviously there's something that he have that's already there, or else he wouldn't be thinking about going. He said short term. So it's an opportunity that he already have that is short term. I know you're from that area. Yeah. So like I was saying, if you're planning to go to New York and you got money saved for about a year or two, then they have some decent places you can get that, because there's so much development going on in New York right now. It's all changed up, and it's very expensive, man. I always say that New York is a place just to make money. That's it. It's not a place to live. Most people come to New York for their jobs. Like they'll drive out from Jersey, from what is it, PA? Mm-hmm. They'll come from there and they'll drive in, take the bus, leave their car parked just to come to New York to work. Long Island, and that's about it. But living there, you got to have money in New York, man. That's why I always say if you live in New York, you can live anywhere, because in New York everything is expensive. So when you get out in other places, it's like you know what to expect when it comes to expenses, even though things can get crazy no matter where you live. But New York is pretty fast paced. You if you're coming from a place like in the South and it's more quiet and laid back, and you move to New York, it's going to be a whole culture shock, because everybody's outside at all times. There's noise everywhere, constant action. Like New York is lit all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? It's lit. But you're gonna have a lot of opportunities. That's the thing about New York. New York there's always something happening. You can find all your connections in New York. New York has everybody. Everybody's there. All the money making opportunities. Like some people might be like, well, if you have all of that, why are you in North Carolina? Well, because I'm 48. I want some peace and quiet. I have a family. I want them to have opportunities, and I want them to be able to think and not get caught up in that fast life and end up ruining their lives. You know, my elder daughter just recently got her driver's permit. So, you know, I'm proud of that. She passed her test. It's like, it literally brought a tear to my eye because it's like, you know, I never did that when I was 17. You know what I mean? Uh, I never did none of that stuff. Because, you know, I was always in New York. There was really no need to do any of that. Even though you had people that was driving early, I didn't do that. So it really was something that made me proud. So being that she's getting older, I'm I'm seeing her develop. You know, she's going to be graduating, and it's like all of these things. It just makes me know that, hey, we're doing our job. You know, so being out here for me is just peace and quiet, opportunities of me just being creative and understanding what I need to do for the family as a whole. Now, would I ever go back to New York? Well, of course, to visit and do other things. Uh, hey, maybe one day when I'm rich, I might have a property that's in New York or something. You know, I don't know. You know, it's up to the people if the people want me to do that. But I really, I always will love New York. You know what I'm saying? But I feel it's a place for business. It's a lot of action. Um, there's so many places to go in New York. Like you can't be in New York and be broke. To me, because there's so much opportunity to earn. When you go to other places like in North Carolina, this place, that place, it's different from New York. New York have so much opportunities. You get it? To choose from. There's always a way to make a dollar in New York. Homeless people make money in New York. You see? But if you're just going to be there for a short time to do something, you should be good. You know, just know that it's expensive. You know, do your research, look around, find yourself a one-bedroom apartment. I don't know if you have a family, and you most likely you're probably going there on your own. So you get a studio and, you know, a one-bedroom apartment, something that's decent. You know, you're gonna be looking at $2,000 rents or more for a one bedroom. Like it's not no game, you know. It's not no game, man. So just know that part, you know. Again, I don't know your situation. If you got it like that, then have at it. Or if you got like somebody like a roommate or somebody, because that's another thing that they do in New York. A lot of people don't tell you this. Um, yeah, a lot of people do that. You have like roommates, and they go half and half, and they get themselves a beautiful apartment, and they all chip in, and they're able to pay for it. You know, they might get a 2-bedroom, a loft. Some of them get a loft, this, that, all these different things, and they chip in, and then they divide it up, and they all are able to live in peace. That's another smart way to do it. You got to be smart in New York to survive because everything is expensive. Everything is expensive, guys. You know, but it's a place for business. So if you go down there with the right kind of mindset to earn money and move and shake with different people that are doing things, you'll be good to go. You said that's the wave now, roommates. Yeah, hey, we got to survive, man. If you could get with somebody that rock with you and you rock with them and y'all could go half and half on a nice spot, that's the best investment y'all could do for both of y'all because not only will you be able to meet the rent, but y'all could be saving money. Y'all can furnish the place, but y'all got to work as a team. Y'all can't be on some goofy stuff and then, well, I'm leaving and you left the other person with everything. Don't do no goofy stuff like that, man. If you're gonna have a roommate, before you even do it, y'all got to plan this thing out in writing. Make an agreement. Like, look, if you know you're gonna be leaving, don't just out me and I'm stuck. Because now you put me in a mess where I can't even afford this place. You know what I mean? They have some luxury apartment buildings in Brooklyn. Nice spots, man. But they're expensive. It's not cheap. You're looking at $3,000 rents, $4,000, $5,000 rent. It's no joke. But if you got 3 people with you, y'all can rock it out. 3 people, y'all could do it. $5,000 rent, y'all make it. You know? So do that. If you're by yourself, it's gonna cost you some money. Trust and believe that. You said 12 months contract for a financial company. All right, so you're already making money. He said financial company, so he already on the right path, you know. And he said he's gonna be there 12 months, so that's good. No, I'm saying if he's gonna be there for 12 months, that means he's going down there to handle some business. Well, yeah, he's definitely going to like it in terms of the environment. He's going to like it. Just find yourself a decent area. Look up, the nice areas where you can travel, because you don't even need a vehicle in New York. You got public transportation. You'll be able to jump in. If you're working remotely at the place you're going to have, you could do that. Or if you have to go to an office or do meetings and all that other stuff, you should be good to go. There's always a subway everywhere near you. There's always a subway, walking distance. It'll be a breeze. Before you know it, the year is up. You already took care of business, and then you can head on back to where you currently live right now. There's a lot of people that come to New York to do business. I've always wanted to leave New York. Always wanted to. Not because I don't like New York. It's just that it's too fast paced. New York is very fast paced, and it's like at my age, it's like I'm more focused on the family.
There's no growth. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you heard my wife. She was like, it's no growth. It's like I felt that, all right, those of you who know my story, I came from the projects. You should know that if you follow this platform. And I saved up everything that I had to make this move out here. I was like a fish in a tank that was too small, and I was unable to grow. And that right there was stopping my creativity. And it made me feel like I couldn't even breathe. And then I got these kids that I want to see them in a better situation. And I just said, you know what? Let me stop thinking about me and try to put them in a better situation, And in the process, that's helping my mental health too. Because remember, I used to walk around the street like, I can't stand this place. I can't stand, like, these people, man. It's like they're not even doing nothing. I want to get around people that are movers and shakers, people that are actually productive, And a lot of people that I was around, it's like they don't want to do anything with their life. They just want to sit down all day. And I'm not like that. So, yeah, I had to get out of that zone. Like out here, I realize there's a lot of young people that are doing way better than you can possibly think. Out here, there's a lot of young people that are getting it in, man, doing what they got to do. It'll shock you. You got young folk out here got their own land already. Well, you got grown men in their 40s and 50s in New York living with their mom. But in the South, you got young guys in their 20s and 30s. They got land. They got their own house. They working. When I first got here, I had a delivery for a, the dryer?
Yeah.
It was a dryer. Yeah, it was a dryer. So when the truck pulled up, I'm like, okay, the delivery here, let me go outside, help the guys do what they got to do. I see these young guys. These guys look like kids. No disrespect, but I'm older than them. But they look like kids, man. Like 18, 19-year-old, bro. Driving a big old truck. They got their job. They got it popping. I'm smiling. I'm literally smiling ear to ear. I'm looking. I have the door open. I'm like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I'm like, they walking up to the thing. They put stuff. I was like, yo, salute to you young brothers, man. This is just, y'all got me smiling, bro. They was like, what's going on? I was like, I'm seeing young brothers working, doing their thing, man. I said, I'm originally from New York. I was giving them a little conversation. They brought the stuff in. They was asking if I wanted to bring it. They wanted to bring it upstairs. I was like, nah, I'll take it upstairs. And I was just talking to them. I was like, hey, man, y'all keep doing your thing, bro. I'm really, really proud of you guys, man. Like literally, I'm talking to these guys because I'd never seen this before. I'd never seen this before coming from New York. Because the young YNs in New York, they don't work. They don't even want to do nothing. So it's like, and that's not no shot to New York. It's just that we got to get it together out there, bro. Like, for real, you young brothers got to get it popping. Not saying all of y'all, because some of you young brothers got your jobs and y'all doing what y'all got to do. But out here, these youngins out here, they killing it, man. They killing it. They got their cars, they got land, they got jobs, and they doing their thing. I was impressed. Because I thought I was going to see some grown men come out the truck doing business. These are some young brothers. You know? I told them, hey man, drive that truck, do your thing, bro. They were happy that I was happy for them. They were dapping each other up like, yo, man, yo, he gave us our props. Yo, see, I told you, man, I told you. I guess he must have put his partner on and got him the job. Because the way he was saying, he was like, see, I told you, we doing our thing. We on our way. I was like, yeah, you on your way. You 19, 20. If I'm correct, one of them was 19 and the other one was 20. And they already done driving trucks, bro. That's good, man. Because that mean they on their way. They on their way doing their thing, you know? And it's always good when you see younger brothers or sisters doing their thing. Always give them that salute, man. Don't be hating on them because they're younger. You know what I'm saying? They're not your competition. We got to make sure that we give them the tools necessary so that they could go out there and win, you know? A lot of people are never happy for other people. You know, I'm always happy for other people's success and their wins. I'm always happy for that because the scriptures tell you to celebrate with people. You know, when people are doing a thing, celebrate them. You know, don't be mad at them because they're doing their thing. If anything, look at them and be like, damn, bro, man, you only 19 and you doing it like that? You got a lot of young brothers getting their CDL. They driving trucks now. Young. They on their way. Don't try to hate on that. Give them the encouragement. Tell them, hey, keep going, keep grinding, because that's helping you too. You know? But yeah, man, I don't even know how we got into this we got into this conversation because a person asked about New York. That's what it was, right? Yeah, you'll be all right. 12 months contract, you should be good to go. Shoot, some businesses take care of that for you. I know this one guy, you know, he was working for this company. They took care of his room and board. They set him up in New York, gave him an apartment. He didn't even have to pay for nothing. The company took care of it, you know, because they wanted him out there to do the job, you know. So they pretty much took care of it. I don't know if that's your situation, but some companies pay for all of that for you. Well, you don't even have to do nothing. They relocate you because they know you're away from your family, you're away from your house. Because remember, wherever you currently live, you still got to pay that too. You know, so some companies know that. And if you got to travel, you know, out of state, or whatever the case is, then it's up to them to pretty much financially support you. Let me see. Let me see. You said, Mr. Ringo, as a music producer, do you think Suno is cheating? I spoke about that already. I spoke about that. Suno, I don't use Suno, or would never use Suno to produce music that I would be selling. I use Suno to produce music just for background purposes. In other words, if I'm doing music for my videos and I want some background music, I would probably use Suno to create some tracks for the background music. But if you're going to use Suno to make your music, then I don't consider you a music producer, respectfully, because it's AI generated. Even if you give it prompts and you program it and you give it an input of what you're looking for and what you want it to sound like, I don't consider that music production that you created, because the app is creating it. It's something about when you can get your DAW fired up and you begin to produce your own music, get your kick, your snare, your 808s, your melodies going, and you know, you got whatchamacallit, your native instrument sounds, all this other stuff. It's something about when you could produce from scratch. The fun of doing your own music. Don't ever let that go away. It's scary because AI can produce music that sounds very good. And many people are abusing it because they're using it to manipulate people. But I would never make music through AI and then try to sell it. I wouldn't do that. You know, that's wrong to me. Morally, that would be wrong. That goes against all my principles. I would let the viewer know that's AI music, you know. But it is cheating. It is cheating. Let me see what we got. Shout out to Floridine Rollo. It says the South is growing, people making moves down here, especially in Florida. I guess many are millionaires being on point. Yeah, it's a lot. See, the purpose of, to me, because Florida was one of the spots that I was going to go at first, because I remember Rollo was saying Florida is a good spot to be at. It's expensive in Florida too. It's a lot of spots that's expensive, man. Maybe in due time in the future. It's like there's a lot of things that I want to do, a lot of things that my mind is trying to open up to. Let me tell you guys something. You may not believe this. Even though I'm 48, I'm not really 48. I'm 28. Now let me explain that. My wife know what I'm talking about. I'm 48. At the same time, it's as if though the Most High prevented me from aging out. I can't really explain it that much. It's like I'm aging gracefully to the point where there's unfinished business I gotta accomplish. And it's like I'm really 28, but my real age is 48. It's weird to explain it. I'm trying to explain this. I don't feel 48. I feel like time stopped and he preserved me for an appointed time. So coming down here, I see things different than most people. I feel like I'm a late starter to the race, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to explain. I feel like I started the race late, meaning everybody been going. I'm just now starting. And being that I'm now starting, it feels like I'm a beginner with all the experience. If it's almost like going back in time, but you have all the knowledge of the future. That's how it feels. It's kind of weird to explain. I probably lost everybody right there. I don't think they would understand. Let me see. He says, you only as old as your mind think. Well, to be honest with you, I don't even look at age. You could ask my wife. I don't even look at age. I don't even think about that type of stuff. I don't believe in age. I really don't. Sometimes she'd think like, what? What are you saying? Huh? I'd be like, I don't believe in all of that. I just believe that we're us. And somebody put that on us to make us die. I don't think about that. You know? Age is just a number. Let me see. Says, seeing your wife video, it's on point. Hey, I appreciate that. Actually, her video, see, what you have to understand is my wife balanced me out. She balances me out. I'm a little rough on the edges. I'm the type of person, I'm avoiding everybody. I don't like nobody. That's me. For various reasons. That makes me who I am. I'm not a bad guy. She's the opposite of that. So that balanced out everything. So even her video ministered to me, because in her video she was explaining, some people be like, I don't want to be around nobody. I'm not like that. I just want to be peaceful and calm. And I'm like, she's throwing shade at me. So she was throwing shade, right? That's what I was thinking. So it helps me, and if you notice in that video, she got more calm, more natural, because she's understanding how to do videos based on herself rather than trying to do something that she's not supposed to do. Because doing content, you just got to be yourself. And that's what's going to resonate with the viewers and connect with the viewers. Sometimes when you do too much, the viewer already know you fake. See, you viewers, you know when somebody's fake. It's automatically in you. You don't have to, you just know when somebody's not being real. That's why it doesn't pay to be fake on social media. Because people could pick it up. People could listen to you and be like, dude is being fake, y'all. How you know he's being fake? I could tell. He's not being real. Listen to how he's talking. He's lying. And they know automatically. If you want the viewer to connect with you, you just got to be natural, be yourself, don't lie, have good integrity, solve problems, speak to their situations where people can relate, That's why I'm talking about this tithing situation. Because a lot of you believe in God, right? And some of you believe in God and you don't even want nobody to know. Not that you're ashamed, you just don't want to deal with the BS, that comes with it. Because sometimes you tell people, hey, I believe in God and I follow Jesus Christ. The next minute, y'all arguing now. And it's like, why in the world we arguing? We were cool at first. And it's like, we arguing now. Because when I was on a 9-to-5, we had those type of issues. And I didn't want to argue with my coworkers. And I told you guys this story. We had a meeting and I told all the workers, I was like, look, let's not talk about religion, because we had Christians, we had Hebrew Israelites, we had one dude that was into some Hinduism thing. You had, I said Muslims, right? I think I said Muslims. You had some 5%ers. You had atheists. You had all different types of people that believe in what they believe in. The thing is, whenever we talked about religion, we're arguing and fighting each other. And it created a hostile working environment, a lot of strife and bitterness. And the supervisor would have to be called in. And our supervisor was cool. And I just decided to have a meeting with everybody and agreed. I said, hey, guys, look, we're all at the job. We're all a family. Because you know how it is on your 9-to-5. Those of you that have a 9-to-5 job where you see your coworkers every single day, the same people every single day, that's your family. Regardless how you feel about it, that's your family at work. Y'all are brothers and sisters. Believe it or not, whether you white, black, doesn't really matter. That's your family. You see these people every single day. If somebody was to pass away, you will get sad. If somebody was retiring, we throw a retirement party. It is what it is, right? So I agreed and made the announcement, let's not talk about religion on the job. Once we all agreed, we didn't have no drama. Everybody was cool. But when we talk about scriptures and Bible stuff, that's why it's a lot of arguments on social media right now when you try to talk about scriptures, because everybody have their own belief. One believe you should tithe money to churches. That's what they believe, even though the Bible don't teach that. So when I come along and I tell you, well, the Bible don't say tithe money, you'll get upset with me, click unsubscribe and stop following my platform out of anger, not because I did anything to you personally, because of religion. So people make decisions based off of their religious beliefs. That's why it's very difficult to reach people with the truth. It's very, very difficult. You said just turned 50 years old and still go bike riding and swimming. Well, happy belated. I don't know if it's today or just turned, maybe, yesterday or whatever the case is. Happy belated birthday. You got to stay active. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't realize that we're like cars. You take care of the engine, you get 300 miles, 300,000 miles, or 400 or more. You got to take care of the engine. Take care of your heart. Bike riding is the best exercise ever. Bike riding, swimming as well. If you can do that, definitely stay active, stay motivated. You just got to be a person that enjoys life. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at life and just let it beat you down. Even though we go through things, you got to always don't be afraid. That's why I like talking to older people that are in their 60s and 70s, because they normally got information that I need to hear. When you see how they live, how they move, like most older gentlemen, most older women, they're more seasoned in the game. They're more calm. When you look at them, their finances is right. They got a house, they got property. They're more relaxed in life. And I look at that and I want that. I want to know what that's like. And I don't get many opportunities to talk to people that are older than me. But when I have those conversations, I enjoy those conversations because I'm talking to a mature man, a mature woman that's not trying to compete with me, that's not trying to outdo me. Instead, they're more or less trying to make me a better person. You get what I mean? So when I'm talking to them, I'm a little more humble, willing to listen, willing to learn, because I got to get there one day. And I want to know if I'm doing all the right things or not. So it's always good to have those kind of conversations, but don't be afraid when you get up there in your age. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing. It's a blessing from God. Many people don't even make it. Many people check out early, man. We're in a time where people check out very early. People have all sorts of health problems. If you 50 and you don't got no health problems, you're blessed. You are blessed. Most people in their 40s, their whole system, their whole body start falling apart. And for you to be in your 50s or even 60s and you got a good bill of health, you're blessed by God, man. That's a blessing right there. That's something to be thankful for. Definitely something to be thankful for. Even if I don't have all the answers about God, even if I don't even hear God's voice, by the pure fact I'm still alive and I have a good bill of health, that's a sign to give God some sort of praise, right? Because it's like, man, I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. And what's the point of just being angry all day? So let me be happy about something. And to me, that is what opens the door for your blessings, is when you recognize what God is really doing in your life. Because we think God is in our life when we see a bunch of blessings in terms of financial materials and all this other stuff. God does things for me that sometimes I don't even know why and how. And like, he uses people to do things for me. And the crazy thing is, a lot of these people that he used, they don't want no credit. Like, literally, there's people that do things for me that I literally be shaking my head like, I can't believe this person just did this. And that's God that's doing it through them. So when God blesses you or uses people, when God blesses you, right, he got to use somebody to do it. Any blessing that come in your life is going to come from another human being that submitted themselves to God's Holy Spirit. That is how it works. It don't come out of the blue. It's not coming from your job. Your job only pay you enough to survive in this crazy economy. When God is going to bless you, he's going to use someone that is around you, that is listening to you, that understands you, and he's going to touch their heart to make something happen for you. That is how God is blessing people. It's not some magic thing that happened. No.
And it lets you know that there are good people.
There are still good people in the world. Even though a lot of you guys, you watch my videos, I be angry and I be cussing and whatever. That's just me, just being me.
Right.
At the same time, there are people that rock with me. I really would like to be shouting these people out all day, but they don't want that. They literally tell me, bro, don't even shout me out. Don't shout me out. I'm like, bro, but damn, bro. You helped me out, dog. You a real one. They don't even want no credit, bro. That lets me know that's a real one. That person is real. I'm going to never forget those people. Never, 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 never forget those people, man. And it'll bring me joy that when I finally get to where I want to get to, those people that was rocking with me during the struggle, you're going to be taken care of. Best believe that. It'll bring me great joy to make sure I take care of these people because they don't understand. They don't understand how an act of kindness impacts people. They don't understand that. Or maybe they do. Maybe they do understand. But it's like that is when the Most High is blessing you, when he do that through people. You know? So I would recommend if you're a person in your 40s, mainly in your 30s, but if you're in your 40s, just try to stay away from all the stress, even though it's like it's hard to do that. But stress is one of the biggest killers, man. That stuff will eat you out, man, just destroy you, man. And like my wife was saying in the video that she made, change isn't change until you change. Everything is subject to change. All your problems is subject to change. You can change all of them, right? Now, here's another fun fact about life. It's like as I'm thinking it, I'm getting these chill bumps as I'm thinking about it because I know it's true. Some of you that are listening, that are in the clouds, you've been through your own struggles in life. Nobody was there to bail you out. In the process of you going through that struggle, you learn valuable things that the trouble and the struggle it built up your character. Now, follow me. I'm not saying that poverty is good. What I'm saying is sometimes you got to drown in order to breathe. Sometimes you got to go underwater and stay there and drown to begin to enjoy what it's like to breathe. And I think that sometimes when everything is going so well in your life, you get so accustomed to it. And then when things get pulled from beneath you, you lose your mind. Sometimes you got to lose your mind to be able to recalibrate your mind, to get back on purpose. Sometimes you got to feel what it's like to suffer. Not saying that suffering is a good thing. Not saying that poverty is from God and God wants you to be poor. That's not what I'm preaching. What I'm saying is if you don't know what a struggle look like, you won't be able to appreciate what a blessing is like. When you have a difficult experience in life, you learn from that. It teaches you. It allows you to have more long suffering. It allows you to not panic the way you used to. Where you used to lose your mind and pull your hair out. Now you're more calm. Now you're more calm during the storm. Some of you see other people struggle and you can literally get them out of it. You could. Some of you have the resources to get people out of their struggles. You could literally deliver them. But God told you, don't do nothing right now. Don't do nothing. Let them suffer. Not because you're a bad person, but because you experienced that and you know what it took to get you out of it. And if they don't end up learning that valuable principle, they're going to always be in need. Did you get that? I'm speaking fire gems. You got to capture them things. There's a lot of things I'm dealing with right now. A lot of things. Support is needed heavily. At the same time, I know that there's a way out. There's a way out. And I know that there are people that got what it takes to get me out. They could. But I believe that a lot of these people, God already spoke to their heart and told them, wait. Let him be. What do you mean, Ringo? What that mean? Okay, let me explain it to you. Some people God will appoint to support. Do this. Give him that. Do that. But then there's certain people that he would say, don't do this. Don't do that. Let him develop. I'm trying to develop him. Let him develop. Don't interfere right now. Let him develop. Why? Because if you interfere too soon, then what happened is I never got to learn the lesson I'm being taught. There's probably a lesson the Most High is trying to teach me. Something that he wants me to do. Something that I'm not hearing. Because a lot of times when your mind is clouded with issues and problems, you're not hearing from God the way you need to. So sometimes he'll pull the rug from under you, pull everything. Everything starts shaking up. He'll get your attention. Money not right. Health not right. Family not right. All things not, everything caving in on you. You wondering like, what the heck is going on? He trying to get your attention. He trying to tell you, I want you to do something. Oh, you're not listening to me? Okay, cool. Let me mess with the finances. Boop, boop, boop. Finances looking crazy, right? Did I get your attention yet? Health not in order? Are you going to listen to me? Let me pull that. Now you wondering what the heck is going on. Now he got your attention. And when you start listening now, he's repositioning you in life on where he wants you to go. Just like as a parent, if your children not listening, what do? You pull certain things, get their attention. Turn that TV off. Give me your phone. Turn that game off. I'm taking this away. It gets their attention, right? Because you want them to do what you told them. Well, same way with the Most High. He will pull everything from you. He'll strip you naked and leave you out there to dry. He'll make you look at everybody else and you'll be like, Lord, why is everybody else winning and I'm not? And then he'll be like, do I got your attention? I can restore all of this stuff. I could put everything, I could put back on the light switch. But I need for you to listen to me. This is what I want you to do. And now when you start to do what he's telling you to do, all of a sudden everything start picking back up. All of a sudden things start going. There's a lot of people that believe in me. They believe in the work that I do. And I really appreciate those people. There's people that have my direct phone number. If you got my direct phone number, me and you have communicated a lot, and you've impacted me and my life and my family in a great way, where you are literally privileged enough to have my phone number. You know what I mean? That's some real talk, because I normally never give nobody phone numbers. I never do that. So you would have to be a person that I really connect with, and you're a real one, right? So you need to have the right kind of people in your life. And we sometimes have individuals that want to see us fail, they want to see us fall. You got to really ignore those kind of people. And see, this is why I think uh women, right? Women, they have an ability to make a man see his own errors. Like, you could be going off or going astray. A woman won't tell you you're going astray. She'll just say a few words and you'll know you got to make a better change. You got to do this, you got to do that. Because they're not trying to discourage you or humiliate you or tell you what to do. Like, if they're trying to rule over you, it's just that they can see through the problem more clear than you. But they don't want you to feel like you're less than a man if they were to tell you, if that makes any sense. Because they know you have the wisdom to overcome these things. It's just that you're all over the place. So women possess a certain virtue and power that is needed in a man's growth and development. And a lot of you guys, you got to know how to utilize these women that speak into your life, because they have certain energy that can direct you. Like, a lot of the things that probably irritate me, a lot of you ladies, you probably be like, look, Ringo, just ignore that. Just ignore them. Just ignore that. And you're just hoping that I would just ignore it. Sometimes you be like, oh, here he go again. When is he going to get it? And you got to learn. You got to realize that. And over the course of time, I had to really make a lot of different changes. Like, there's certain things I just not even responding to, because I realized that a lot of the women, they've been the ones that have been instrumental in hinting to me not to respond to certain things, not to react to certain things, just kind of leave certain things alone. And you got to humble yourself to do that, because a lot of men don't even like listening to what a woman say. But you have to understand, women hold certain power and abilities that if you utilize it, it's a blessing. It doesn't make you less of a man. You have to know how to humble yourself and listen. And there's a lot of different women that I get info from. Like I said, the video that my wife made, very powerful video. Like, while I was editing the video, I'm listening to the video, because I had to listen to the video multiple times before I released it on YouTube. I'm like, damn, this video is good. This is a good video. This is really good. I was like, man, she's gonna definitely reach people with this video. So you got her, you got other women that, there's this other woman on Instagram. She makes these posts, and it's like all her posts ministers to me, ministers to my situation. It's as if though she's watching my situation. And I'm like, how they do this? How they have this ability to speak on things, and it's like it's your situation. Now, I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial, might ruffle up some feathers, get me in trouble, but we got to do it anyway. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's of the Most High. So don't twist my words, misconstrue my words. A lot of women are very spiritual. A lot of women get accused of being witches. They get accused of casting spells and various other things, because they really do have a divine connection to the Most High that us men may not understand. But women truly have a hidden power that if you're not careful, you'll think it's some sort of witchcraft type stuff. Like those women that be reading those tarot cards and they're doing this and they're doing that. They're doing all these creepy things and you thinking she's weird. A lot of times, even though they might be in that path or in that world, um, uh, they have a gift. That they have a gift. There's something on them. They just don't understand it. They might be doing it in a way that might make you feel a little uncomfortable. But most of these women have this energy that can heal. They're healers. They don't know that. They can heal you with words and they don't understand their power. What I don't like is when some of them go more towards the dark side with it. It's like they just get dark. But some of them know how to keep it in the light and they do positive things. So I appreciate those kind of women that use their words, like, you know, because I communicate with people on social media and stuff like that, and it's like a lot of women, they know how to talk to give you the right words that you need. And I'm mainly speaking from this perspective of a man listening to a woman. You know, women know how to communicate to give words that heal, not that destroy. They'll give you words that heal you, that restore you, that encourages you. And I think that's what's missing in today's day. You know, I know this video is all over the place, but it's good because I could chop these videos up and literally release them as short form videos. So it might be all over the place, but if you've been listening from the beginning, it's a good conversation that we're having here. It's a lot of good info, you know. But getting back to this tithing thing, I'm gonna do a ton of videos on this matter, and I want people to really wake up and stop letting these churches manipulate you because they really want to control your money and keep you poor. It's keeping you poor. You understand? It's too much going on in the world to be giving all your money to these pastors and you're not living at least in a decent way. You know, I'm a family man. All I think about is my family. That's all I think about. I don't think about nothing else, guys. When I tell you, it's something about when you're a family man, you understand that your family security is very important. And real men fight to keep things afloat. And women too. You know, women are very, very protective of their kids and they want their kids to have their best. And, you know, it's just like in my wife's video that she made, some of the things that really hit me is when she was like, you know, the kids really need you. You know, they really need you. They just don't know. There's a lot of things they don't know, you know? So you can't really be all angry and stressed and this, people dying of heart attacks and all that other stuff. So that kind of hit me because I'm always angry. You know what I'm saying? Not in a bad way, but due to all the social media nonsense, you know, and the things and the responsibilities and things that I got to do. But that really hit, you know what I mean? So if that hit me, then I know it hit others. You get what I'm saying? So you really got to appreciate, um, you know, your time here. And if you have kids, they really need you. They do. You gotta watch how you talking to them. These are the type of things that as parents we all gotta learn from. We gotta learn from this. So a lot of times kids will really get under your skin. They'll do crazy stuff. But you gotta see your kids, and I think this is what God is trying to do with us in the earth, at least in this house. You gotta see your kids as God see you. You want God to be forgiven of your sins, right? Okay. When you look at your children and they're acting up and doing crazy stuff, you got to be forgiven. You got to have long suffering. You got to know how to talk to them without hurting them. Because sometimes verbal words hurt more than physical. You know, a lot of times kids get spankings and parents go over and above, and then the kid get hurt. What hurts a child even more is verbal scorn. That'll break a kid. So all of those things I feel parents should be focusing on even more, is the verbal assault that children get. That right there is something that all parents have to really perfect. How you communicate with your children, because that's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember when you screamed at them. Not saying that as a parent you can't yell and scream, but it's how you do it. If you do it and you're belittling the child, would that be something God would do? You got to look at it that way. I think that's the best way I can put it. Would God do that? Would God yell at me in a way where it breaks me down to the point where it's like I'm discouraged? Or would he rebuke me to make me know my fault so I can improve, and then he lift me up and dust me off? You know? So I think that's one of the things God does with us when he allows us to have children. He makes us do what he would do. Because I'm not saying you're God, but your children see you as the God in that house, no matter how you see it. Now, I teach my children about the Most High. I teach them to, when they eat food, thank you, Most High, for the food. They all know that. They don't eat food without thanking the Most High for the food. All of them do this. I'll be like, what are you supposed to say? Oh, thank you, Most High, for the food. Yeah. Because even though I have to work and do what I do to earn, I know that it's the Most High that gives me the strength to continue. Now, even if I have my doubts, that's between me and the Most High. Because just like in the scriptures, you had many prophets, many men of the Lord that would be arguing with the Most High. Literally. The Most High didn't answer their prayers for 10, 20 years. Go read it up. Y'all be thinking that in the Bible, everybody was just sitting around talking to God all day. No. Some of y'all haven't heard God speak to you in years. And you still wondering, do he even like you? You know? Sometimes I be like, I don't even know why the Most High using me for. I don't even know why. But then the passion kicks in again. You know, like how I'm doing these videos talking about tithing. It's like it's in my lane. It's effortlessly done. I don't have to think or guess because I know this. This is what I know. So when I speak on these issues, I connect with the viewer. A lot of you are tired of tithing. You've been tithing, and you're tired. Stop today. Don't be afraid to quit tithing. God is not going to punish you. I promise you guys, you've been lied to your whole life about tithing. Quit today. Your pastor in your church might say, hey, we haven't received no tithes from you this month. What's going on? You be like, I'm done with tithing. I'm done. What? Well, then you're going to have to leave this church. Okay, cool. I'm out. That's all. I'm not going to stay here. And this is how y'all treating me, abusing me. You know, put that money towards your bills, guys. A lot of y'all are homeowners. Maybe you're renting. To you homeowners that are at the end where you're about to pay off your house, congratulations. Congratulations to you. Those of you that are about to almost pay off your car, you're almost there. Wonderful feeling, right? Just keep going. Keep doing what you got to do. Be faithful. And everything's going to work out. You know? Everything is going to work out. You just got to just know that God is with you. You may not understand how he's doing it, because I don't understand how the Most High is working with me. I don't understand. I try to understand, and the more I try to understand, it just don't work. That's why he says, my thoughts are higher than yours. My ways are not your ways. You ain't going to be able to figure him out. You can't figure out God, fam. I know God is with my family. I know he is, and he's with yours too. I know it may not feel that way at times because we go through trouble. But see, I think we've been deceived. I think we've been deceived to think that when trouble comes, it's because God is not there. Trouble came to Jesus Christ, but God was with him. Even Jesus said, Father, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? He had points of doubt, but the Father was always there. Just like he's there with you and I. It feels like he's not there, but he's there. He's there. Do you understand that? He's there. I'm a proud dad. I am proud of my elder daughter passing her driver's learner's permit test. I'm proud of that. It feels good to say that because I seen her studying, she's practicing, she's studying, she's learning the traffic, this, that. She's on her way. She's on her way, guys. That brings me joy. Because soon she's going to be driving. She's going to be doing her thing. You know? Can I borrow your car, Dad? No. No, you can't. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to get you a car. Am I going to get a new one? Nope. You're going to get a used car. You're going to get a used car. I mean, if my viewers made me rich, I'll take care of you. You'll be good to go. You know what I mean? We'll go to the car lot and we'll take care of business. But, you don't know how the Most High going to do what he going to do. You don't know how he's going to do it. Now, would I like to buy her a brand new car? Of course. What father wouldn't want to do that? You know? But we always was taught you got to crawl before you walk. That's what we always been taught. You got to crawl before you walk. I say, forget that. If you got what it takes, if you got it to go ahead and buy your kid a brand new car, do it. Do it. But I understand, get something used for now so that she can learn, do her thing, understand how to take care of the car, how to make sure everything is good, wash the car, clean the inside. Because, sometimes you got to be faithful of a few to be ruler of much. That's what the scripture says. And you want them to understand the financial obligations of maintaining the vehicle. Because a lot of people get these cars and they don't realize when those expenses come in, stuff is serious, man. I recommend everybody to work on their own vehicle. I mean, I understand mechanics got to eat. They need money too. But if you find a mechanic, he got to be a real mechanic, man. Shout out to the real mechanics. I'm not talking about the fake mechanics that just want to rob you, take your money away. If you're a real mechanic and you're watching the show, shout out to you. The real ones. The ones that when you bring your car in, they really care about your car and they treat it like it's their car. That's a real mechanic. And they're not going to try to overcharge you and drain your wallet. They will be there to say, hey, brother, while inspecting your vehicle, we're going to put on new rotors. We're going to put on new brake pads. But I noticed something about the under portion of the car. You have what appears to be a minor oil leak. I think it's coming from the such and such and such. I'm going to take care of that. I'm not going to really charge you anything, but I'm just going to kind of just take care of that because I see it's going to be a big problem later down the line. That's a good mechanic. That's the type of guy you take care of him. Or if it's a woman mechanic, you take care of her too, because they still got to eat. So I'm not trying to take business away from mechanics that are doing their job. It's just that a lot of mechanics give other mechanics a bad name, man, because they be robbing, man. They be robbing. Like I might talk about a story of something that had happened in regards to a situation that hits closer to home. But I'll probably do that another time, or maybe I might not even talk about it. But it pisses me off to know how some people are crooks, man. They really are crooks. They like to rob people's money, and you don't play with people's hard-earned money, man. You know. And here's another thing: um, if somebody support you, right, you can put on some of them. You say you got that chicken, right? Oh, all right. So I'm gonna wrap up the stream just now. You put on 2 or 1? Oh, okay. Yeah. So when somebody supports you, let's say you have a business or whatever the case is, and somebody's financially supporting you, do what you're gonna do and what you say you're gonna do with that support. It's very important that you do that because there are a lot of people that believe in your vision, that believe in what you do, and there are people out here that got resources. I need you guys to understand this, man, because y'all just don't get this part. Listen to this part here. Just like you have talent and you're skilled and you got all this creative stuff, there are people out here that have all the resources, but they don't got no talent. They don't have no thing that they're working on, but they got all the resources. Meaning, the money you need to do what you need to do, they got that. And they got an abundant supply. And it's nothing to them. It's like, and when I say they don't got no talents, I'm not saying they don't got no talents like talent. They obviously they do something to earn money. My point is they don't have what you have. You see what I mean? People see these things. And there's people that want to support. There's people that want to do things, but they're wise. They're not dumb. They know when to act and when not to act because they're experienced and they've been there already. You haven't, but they can see your journey. They know where you're supposed to be. There's people that look at you and they know where you're supposed to be already. But they know you're probably still developing in some areas. Huh? It's not that you're not ready. They know you're ready, but what they're waiting for is to see results, to see things that motivate them to say, okay, now it's time. If they don't see you doing what you claim, then there's no need to do anything because you're not doing anything. You get what I'm saying? And instead, it's just going to make you more, it's going to make you procrastinate or possibly be dependent. And that's not what they want for you. They want you to be independent and receive support as you grow. That's how businesses thrive. It's like certain people will see you start a business, right? And then as you're doing the business, that's when people start to come in to financially support the business. But if they don't see you doing it, then there's no reason to do anything because it's like, I don't see you really putting in that effort. People want to see you do what you say. So always stay active doing what you claim you're going to do because that is what's going to open the doors for your blessings. Just like God is not going to do something for you if you're not doing that. If God don't see you working hard towards the goal, why would he send Suzanne to help you? Why would he send Robert to help you? And you're not doing the job that he called you to do. There's no reason to. He got people out there with resources. There's tons of people who watch me that are millionaires. They watch me every day. They could just click a button, change my whole life overnight. They could change all sorts of things, but a lot of these people that have reached a certain level of life, they're living at a different level that's from mine. and they could see me. They know what I'm doing. They can read all the signs. I can't hide nothing from them because they recognize excellence when they see it. They know. But they also know that there may be certain things that I need to do in order to trigger a chain reaction for support, connections, and various other things that can open up new doors. This is very important. I hope you get what I'm saying. Maybe I need to explain it in another video. But I've lost a lot of opportunities due to tithing. My wife can tell you. She's sitting right here. Remember when, remember, what's she telling you? Oh, you remember when we were with Creflo Dollar's church and Creflo said that if you produce in music, it's of the devil, and how I should stop producing music, and it made me stop doing my music. I felt that doing music was evil.
Or even listening to music, yeah.
Remember all the opportunities I missed? People wanting to work with me, people wanting to do this, and I would deny everybody because I was saying that's of the devil. The church stole all opportunities from me when it comes to music. I had distribution deals, all sorts of people trying to work with me in the industry. Doesn't mean that I'm a part of the industry. Whether you are, listen, let me nip this in the bud one time. As a music producer, songwriter, whatever the case is, whatever your style, talent is, if you're producing music, it doesn't mean you're a part of some satanic industry. If I'm if I'm a contractor and I do carpentry, home construction, I'm a part of an industry that builds homes. It doesn't mean I'm involved in anything satanic. If you are an electrician, you're a part of an industry of electricians. If I'm a musician, I'm a part of an industry of creativity. The music industry, right, has certain groups that you may never see. But I can still do business by producing film scores for movies, producing for a local artist, or doing X, Y. That doesn't make me a Satanist. It doesn't mean I sold out to the Illuminati. What the Christian church did to me in my early teens and, you know, early 20s is teach me not to use my talent. They told me that producing music is of the devil. Music, remember Creflo?
Don't listen to the world music.
Don't listen to the world music. It's all evil. And they had me brainwashed to the point where I turned down all sorts of opportunities. I met with movie directors, and guys, when I tell you, I missed out on everything because of religion. And to this day, it kind of bothered me because I would be, you would know. You would know everything. If I would have went along with the opportunities that I had, I would not be in a situation that I'm in right now. I would not be, because I am multi-talented. Like one these projects that I'm going to be working on, it might end up opening the whole floodgates. You never know how God has things planned. We might end up doing this thing that we got planned, and I end up getting the contact from such and such and such, or get a contact from this person, get a contact from that person. Now all of a sudden everybody want to end. You never know how God gonna work this thing out. And that's why you have to keep going and stay productive and stay creative, because you never know who's watching. Think about it. It's 197 people watching. Somebody in that group of that 197 is in a position of power where they could just make a simple phone call and be like, hey, I got this guy, this YouTuber, his name is such and such and such, real good guy, man. You got to see this video this guy made. And it just opened up a door. So you really never know who's listening. You never know who's watching. And that's why you got to be very careful how you treat people, because God uses people to open doors. You know, it's crazy. He really uses people to open up those doors, man. And I know what I'm talking about. You have some people that they live life, they experience life, and they can see where my journey is and know that I've been through a lot trying to get to the next level. And sometimes certain things hold back progress, and you know you're doing everything right, and you still feel like you're being held back. Sometimes I look at that as that's God holding you back. That's God waking you up to do something different. And we know this is true. Remember that time we was trying to go to that meeting that had Kenneth Copeland?
Oh yeah.
We had everything planned. We had the money. We had this. We had everything set up. We was trying to get on that. We was trying to rent a car. Remember? And everything in his grandmother was trying to stop us, man. That was God holding us back. He didn't want us to go. Maybe we were supposed to get into an accident while traveling. He literally prevented us from going, man. When I tell you everything was holding us back. Everybody.
Was that the first one before we went to that?
That was the first one. That was the first one before we went to that other one. That was scary. Remember that? That was scary because it's like everybody was turning us down. Family was acting up. Nobody wanted to help. I'm like, yo, what the world, yo? Why everybody holding us back?
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that day?
Yeah.
That was crazy, man. I never felt something that it felt like nobody wanted to help us. It's not like we didn't have what it took. We had the money to do it, but it's like all the doors were shut.
We was like, this is the devil.
Yeah, we blamed the devil. We was like, this is the devil doing this. It wasn't the devil, man. It was God holding us back. He didn't want us to go. Guys, have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt like the windows of heaven was closed? All doors were locked. No one is responding to you. Nobody's picking up the phone. All the businesses closed. Scary. Scary feeling, man. So, hey, let me see. Somebody said, sir, you mentioned you are 48, but 20, I guess, but feel 28. This is God restoring all the years you have lost. I received that. That's some encouraging words right there. I received that. Restoring, definitely. Because when I tell you, man, if you only know my whole story, man, it's really, really wild. It's really, really wild. That's definitely encouraging right there. God is restoring the years you lost.
Yeah.
That's definitely an encouraging word right there. I appreciate that. And that goes for many of you too. Many of you probably had those type of situations where you lost years. You've been out here living, struggling, surviving, and you lost like 20 years of your life. You know, maybe you were in a bad relationship with somebody you had no business being with, and that person drained all your energy, 20 years, 15, 10, and you feel you're being restored, you know? Some of you just turned 60 years old, and everybody's like, you're old, and you're like, old? Bro, I'm having fun. I'm having most fun I ever had in my life. They don't even understand your journey. You're now living your life, man. They looking at you like, oh, you're 60 years old. You're done. Done? Bro, you don't even know I just begun, bro. I am happy, bro. You don't even know the half. They don't know your story, man. They don't know your story. Listen, you got most guys, they don't even start to live their life till they hit 50. You have some guys, they just turned 50 years old. They now starting to live. They now starting to see the fruits of their labor after all that time. You know? It's crazy, man. Let me see. He said everyone have their scars, but your story but not your story is right. I'm not sure if there's a typo in there. Sabri says, I feel like I lost some years, but to an illness, but I look like a baby still, even at 30. People think I'm 25. Young at heart. Amen to that. Forever Studio says, I agree. I'm 53. Listen, listen. That's why most of my audience is a mature audience. If you're a person who's in your 30s and you're listening to me, that means that you're more mature than you think. So, to the sister that's in her 30s, for you to even be listening, that means that you are mature in your thoughts. You're not thinking like how most would think in their 20s, early 30s. You know, a lot of times they're not even thinking about the things I talk about. They only think about that when they hit into like 40, 50. But I got a lot of people that's in these ages of 40, 50, 60, 70 that listen to my videos all the time. I got 70-year-old people that watch my content. Believe it or not, they do. And like I said, when you talk to older folk, they got a lot of wisdom. And it's not just wisdom I look for in older folk. I look for that grown man, grown woman conversation. It's something about that gives me energy.
Yeah, all my friends are
You know,
80s, 60s.
when they speak to you as a father, as a mother. That's how they talk to you. And older gentlemen have no reason to hate in terms of, not saying they all perfect now, but a real mature older person, they're not in competition with you. They're trying to make you a better person. They talk to you, they share their life experiences, and they want to have these conversations. Most older folk want to talk to somebody. And I always appreciate those conversations. Always appreciate them, you know, because I know they've been around. They know things that I haven't even experienced, man. And I try to be humble so I can listen, you know. And like I said, you know, my mom passed. She was in her like mid 60s, and it was like it was it taught me a lot about people that are like older. Like when I look at them, I see them as like that could be my parents, you know? So there's a certain level of respect that I automatically give them. Automatically. You automatically get that um elder respect. As soon as I see you, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. How you guys doing? Is there anything I could do for you? You know, it's like you just know how to communicate out of respect. A lot of the youth today don't have that. They just don't have that in them. I don't know what it is, what happened, but they don't have that mindset to respect like their elders. Like there's a lot of older people out here, older couples that are out here in this community. And even though a lot of people don't really talk with one another out here, when I see the elderly couples, you know, I always look and I wonder like, wow, what did they do to stay together that long and be able to continually build and grow? It's always inspiring to see, you know, how other people are able to continually make it, you know? A lot of guys are not even mature when it comes to relationships. They don't even know what to do, you know? They don't really know how to talk to a woman. They don't know how to have relationships. They don't know how to take care of a family. And these are things that a lot of women yearn for, you know? They really do. And a lot of guys, y'all gotta, you know, not all of you, some of you brothers know what to do. Some of you brothers um, are mature, you know? And this is why we have to have these type of conversations. So I'm gonna get up on out of here, guys, because I gotta get something to eat. And I might just do the live stream in the morning. The one with Ricard teaching the tithing lie, because I gotta debunk all of that mess. I know a lot of you viewers that support Ricard of GOCC. I know some of you are probably tuning in. I want to talk to you for a bit before I get on out of here. The Most High gave me this message to bring to the people in 2006. My job when I came on YouTube was primarily to expose false prophets who lead God's people astray. In all of my experience being in the Christian church, I've been used, I've been spiritually abused, I've been taught nothing but lies. I've experienced a lot of scams and con men in these churches. Enough experience that will make you just hate everything that have to do with church. I'm not bitter. I'm experienced in this walk. And I'm versed in the scriptures. I'm not a novice in the faith. So when your GOCC leader, when I see him doing things that is out of pocket, understand that I am coming in a place of knowledge and understanding to wake people up. Do you understand me? I am not a novice in the faith, so do not compare me to your leader in terms of, well, he got more knowledge than you and he could teach this and that. Fam, I am 48. I've been in this truth for a long time. I don't boast about what I know or don't know. What I do know is when liars and deceivers are taking advantage of God's people. And I don't like that because I've been through this abuse. I know what it's like. I know the mental frustration. I know the poverty. I know what it's like when you can't eat food and you have to pay bills. I don't want you folks going through that nightmare. If you're a member of GOCC, you need to repent. You need to either leave or call out your elder Rakah and lawyer and tell them to repent and get right with the Most High, because there's a lot of false doctrine in that church. A lot of people are being led astray, and I'm not going to sit back to watch that happen. I'm going to make a ton of videos about Rakah. He's on my radar. I feel that flame in me from the Most High to speak against the lies that are being taught. He is in fact a false teacher. He went astray. Yes, there was a time when Rakah was on point. I will never take that away. I will never say that in the beginning, GOCC was false, it was pagan. I can't say that. In the beginning, Rakah was on the streets by himself doing the work of the Lord. It was very commendable. I appreciated that. I appreciate all the brothers in the truth back then that was speaking the truth, waking up the people. But it's not you who woke up the people. It's the Spirit of the Most High that quickeneth the spirit, that quickeneth the dead. So it's not to give you credit. I will say that you did a mighty work. As of today, a lot of these people went astray. Money came in, they started to get rich, and then that zeal they once had, that fire for God that they once had, that light was dimmed because of the money. Sometimes the Most High purposely not make you have a lot of money because maybe the money will change you. Not saying to keep you broke and poor, but for a certain time period, the Most High may leave you in a state where you just don't got it the way you would like it. He kind of keep you alive, playing with you. Sometimes I argue with the Most High. I'm like, Most High, why? Why do you let me struggle? Why am I going through this? You know I should be doing better than this. Come on. Where you at? And it's like he just laughs and says, just keep doing what I tell you to do. And it's like, that's all I know. It's just to do what he told me to do. And even though I argue with the Most High and, oh, I'm done, I quit, man, I'm losing my faith, and I start acting up, throwing a tantrum, whatever the case is, that's just me having my walk with the Most High. That's our business. Even though I put it out there and I do what I do, that's just me being me. You know what I mean? Because I know y'all do the same thing. Y'all just don't have no way to let people know. But at the end of the day, I still know that the Most High is working with me. I know He's working with me, and He's still there. You just got to have faith and believe, and just know that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is doing a mighty work through you. So I want you viewers of GOCC that might be watching me to understand is I'm not trying to tear down no church. My job is to rebuke these false pastors, these false leaders, so that they can repent. Just like in the movie The Equalizer, the brother Denzel gave them time to get it right. The Most High has given Ricard time to repent, time to get it right. And if they don't get it right, it's not good for them. So tune into these messages. Don't shut your heart down. Don't get so cold to the point where you refuse to listen to the truth. You are spiritually in danger and you don't know it. This man is living a lavish life when he leaves these meetings. And you're living in conditions that is just unthinkable. It's crazy. He acts like he's poor in order to gain success and money. And y'all sit there and y'all buy that mess. That's not right. It's not right at all. Let me see. Shout out to The Word for the $2 support. I answered that question throughout the broadcast. You may have to go back. It says, why did you move to North Carolina? I already answered the question. I answer that question all the time. Rewind back the video, find the section where I explain a lot. I explain so much. I'm a family man. When you're a family man, you want to have your family in an environment that is family orientated. You want them to have peace. That's what we all want, right? I don't want a noisy environment. I don't want an environment with crime and drugs and guns and killings. I don't want that, not for my kids. Any good father would want his kids in a good environment, right? Let me see. Shout out to Xed57 for the 10. Says, I'm 53 right now. Will be 54 next month on the 7th. The 7th, on my avatar, I was 50. People don't believe it. It's like nowadays, 50 is the new 30. It's the new 30 because it's like we could be 50 years old. People don't even know you're 50. If I don't tell nobody my age, they wouldn't even know. You know? And I'm not the type of person that dyes my hair. I like the gray that's on my beard. I think that it looks very masculine. And if you're a man, that actually would attract women more to you, believe it or not, because they see the maturity, they see the masculine energy, your beard, all of that type of stuff is very important as a man. So you don't want to be the type of guy that be dyeing your beard. I don't know why dudes do that. It's a waste of time. The gray hair make people know who you are. They respect you. They see the authority. Huh? Right. But anyway, we're gonna get up on out of here. I gotta get something to eat. I'm hungry. Very, very hungry. So rate, comment, and subscribe, guys. You know, if your mom and your pop is still alive, contact them. Tell them that you love them. Visit your mom. Bring her some flowers. And guys, hug your father. Stop being so macho. Hug your dad. Tell him you love him. Tell him, hey, thanks, Pop, for getting with Mama and doing that thing to bring us in. He'll start laughing when you say that, but gotta thank him and be appreciative of the people that rock with you. Just have your faith in the Most High and not religions. I go through things and I go through phases where I doubt God sometimes, and I could admit that. At the same time, I'm 100% with the Most High. It's just that he's working on me, He's working on me, and he brought me this far for a reason. He definitely did. And where we're going, I don't know. Only he knows the end. He just required that we keep going. Remember, in times of old, the prophets, the men of the Most High, they had to travel long distances. They struggled. They fell in the sand, thirsty, struggling. And the Most High kept telling them to get up and keep walking, keep going. So it's like, in this journey, you got to keep going, man. Sometimes you feel like you're in a desert, in the wilderness, and nobody don't know what you're going through. You got to keep going, man. Keep going. Don't stop. Stay encouraged. So I'm going to continue to do that. And that's why I went live, man, just to kind of just keep doing what I'm doing, man. Like, people try to discourage me all the time. They try to break me down. They try to really but it's not going to work, man. It's not going to work. Because I know there's people out there that's rooting for me. I know there's people out there that's still praying for me. And, I say a lot of things about prayer. Prayer don't work, this, that, da, da, da. You got to really understand the context by which I'm speaking. It's not that prayer don't work. Prayer that we think work don't work. We got to pray according to the Bible in order for prayer to work. But prayer is not a magic spell. It's not a magic cue that just changes things. Prayer is literally us making requests to the Most High. But if it's not in the Most High's will, it's not going to work. So the prayer got to align with the will of the Most High. That's the only way the prayer is going to work. I can't pray for somebody to get out of prison when they're guilty. If they're guilty, they're going to stay in prison. So you got to know how to effectively use prayer. Even the scripture says, the effectual, fervent prayer of the righteous man availeth much. So it got to be an effectual, fervent prayer that lines up with the will of the Most High. That's what's going to work. So y'all have a blessed one. Shout out to everybody that supported the show. If you're new to the platform, subscribe. Stay at peace. Shout out to everybody on the 9-to-5 grind. Shout out to all law enforcement, fire departments, the FedEx workers, the UPS workers, DHL, United States Parcel Service, Amazon, everybody in retail, fashion, security guards, valet workers, parking lot attendants, barbers, beauticians, the bus drivers, the school teachers, the medical field personnel, the electricians, mechanics, car wash spots, all the restaurants, Walmart workers, all the Home Depot, big box stores, the Lowe's, everybody out there that's in the warehouses, the people that's in the industrial fields, the agricultural fields, all the men and women that are keeping the infrastructure alive and keeping it well. Y'all gotta see. I appreciate all of you guys because y'all all play a part in how we're able to survive in this world. And don't take your job lightly, like it's nothing. I know a lot of times I say I ain't ish. People think that I'm saying something negative to myself. I'm really not. I'm trying to humble myself to the Most High when I say that. It's not me saying I ain't ish, like I'm not a good person, like I can't do nothing. That's me trying to say, hey, Most High, I'm getting out of the driver's seat because I ain't ish, but I know you are the man. So I need your help to get me through. That's me trying to remind myself not to believe all in me and to have my confidence in the Most High. So that helps me to recalibrate my thoughts. Because, when you're a talented person, sometimes you think you don't even need God. And this is something that a lot of people don't understand. Most people that are gifted and very talented, they get to the point where their talents make them feel they're above God. And now they end up getting themselves in a mess. It's really like that. A lot of talented people figure, I don't need God. I don't need nothing. I'm good. And that's a bad way of thinking. So appreciate everybody stopping by. If I forgot your occupation, don't don't think nothing. You know what I mean? If you're on the 9-to-5, just know that your job is a job that you're doing that's helping the world. No matter who you are, where you are. That's why I always try to be kind to people, and strike up conversations, because everybody want to have a conversation. Everybody needs that love and that support. Some people are on the job and all they see is themselves every day. That's why when you see the UPS guy and he delivers packages, say, "Hey man, what's going on, man? Hey, have a great weekend. Drive safe." That makes their day. Just that. They feel real good when they get back in their truck. That you just said, "Drive safe, have a great weekend." They're like, man. Yeah, next time they come around, they can't wait to hear what you got to say now. So learn to appreciate people. That's why I said my wife balanced me out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm very rough around the edges. And you know, I'd be like, man, forget everybody. I don't like nobody. I'm done. she, she'd be like, I ain't like that. I like people. You know, I'm like, well, I don't. I don't care. And we have this little back and forth about who likes people and who don't and stuff. And it's a balancing. Yeah, that's it's a good thing. So y'all take care, man. I'm gonna get up on out of here. Peace and blessings to the mods in the chat. Salute to all the moderators. Y'all, I know y'all busy. Y'all got things y'all got to do. But yeah, man. Got to make some moves tomorrow. Got to do some things. Get some things done. And that's it. Got a lot of stuff in store, guys. A lot of stuff that I got to work on. But I'm doing what my passion is, man, when it comes to this content. You notice how I always say I'm leaving and I start talking? You notice that, right? I say that I'm leaving and then I'm still talking. You see? That's crazy, man. But I'm trying to get back to my original content, the thing that the Most High put in me to do. I mean, I can still do what I do in terms of my regular content, but there's certain content I was called to do by God, man. And I feel like he's trying to push me back where I'm supposed to be, because he knows that I'm really good at it. And he knows that viewers view. He knows all of this. And he knows that I'm able to reach people. I'm reaching a lot of you, and you may not admit it, but there's a lot of things that I'm saying throughout these messages that's really connecting with your spirit. And you may not understand it right now. You may not even like me in terms of my personality or the way I deliver the message, but it's intriguing and it kind of make you tune in, and you're kind of giving me a shot. You're kind of just kind of listening in like, I'll tune in tomorrow, hear what he got to say. And before you know it, you might end up being one of those people that end up hitting me up on Instagram like, yo, bro, you saved my life. The Most High definitely used you, man. Because I used to get these messages back in the day where people used to say, this is when YouTube had DM messages. There was a time on YouTube, you could send messages on YouTube, like how Instagram, same thing. They took away all those features. People use hundreds, thousands of people used to send me messages. Bro, you changed my life. Bro, I can't believe it. Wow, I'm woke. I'm awoke. I can't believe this. I left the church. I'm doing better now. I got a new job. God is blessing me. It's like once I left and I stopped tithing, God started to bless me. That's crazy. But anyway, y'all, let me get out of here because I keep saying the same thing. I keep staying. So I'm out of here. What are you hiding over there for? You scared to come in the video? You want to come on? She over here checking her hair. What are you checking your hair for? You checking your hair? Come over here. You said hi? Okay, they can see you. Give me my nose. Give me. All right, so I'm gonna get up on out of here. It is what it is. Why do you look like you're wearing hospital scrubs? You look like she's wearing hospital scrubs. Yeah, so I'm gonna get up on out of here, man. Peace and blessings to the minds in the chat, Forever Studios. I seen Brainwaves in there. Brainwaves Advice Topic LLC. Shout out to Floridine Rollo. Oh, I didn't even shout out the super chat. Shout out to DD Jazz 2835 for the $2 support. Says many blessings to you and your family. Peace. Appreciate the $2 support. And same to you and yours. Let me see. Why this thing? Okay, there you go. All right, so I'm gonna get up on out of here, guys. Again, go in peace. You know, stay in health. And just be positive, man. Be positive. Try to treat people right. Right. Let this week you just try to treat people right this week. Let's practice that. Right. Now keep in mind, this my wife was saying this in her video. See how I'm being influenced? I'm being influenced by my wife's video. If you haven't seen her video, it's on the platform in the video section. Check it out. You know? Check it out. You'll see. Why it just said uploaded videos? I'm still live or I'm not live? I don't even know. But yeah, try to treat somebody nice this week. When you're around people, smile, say good morning. Do it for the whole week. And then I might do a video next week where we can ask you questions on what was the week like when you were treating everybody good. So tomorrow, I want everybody to just be kind. Even if people are crazy and acting up, just try to practice that for the rest of the week. Let's see what happens. Just do it for that 1 week. See. Because some of y'all are like, man, I'm not doing that, bro. Somebody come up to me doing, man, I'm going to go off. I get it. But let's just try to be cool this week. No road rage, no bonking your horn. Let's just try to be cool, you know? You said you already do that? Hey, then you're on the right path. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I always try to treat everybody with respect. See how I'm still talking? Let me get out of here, man. Peace and blessings to the minds in the chat. If I don't stop, I'm going to be here forever. Peace and blessings, guys. I'm going to get up and out of here. Peace. We out. Peace.